Last time on Survivors Complex, your group delved deep into the elven temple you had found yourselves within. You set out to discover its secrets and braved a number of trials along your path. You quickly learned that these trials would not be simple to overcome. The trials tested your patience, endurance, and bravery. You fought off nightmarish apparitions, and Den even sacrificed her arm for the sake of the group. Ultimately, you found yourselves at the end of the trials in a strange, otherworldly ruin, with where you received an artifact for your efforts throughout these trials. Upon exiting the temple, you learned that the Grung had been defeated or scattered to the four winds, and you bade farewell to Lemley, your guide, helping you along your journey, and returned to Fort Harrington. There, thanks to Sadel, you learned the powers behind your items and the weight that they carried. You also received word from the guards of the town that or of the fort that the commandant and the captain wished to speak with you, and so you retired to your rooms to rest for the evening in anticipation of what the next sunrise might bring. And that is where we're going to pick up here today, with all of you heading off to your rooms to rest for the evening. Is everybody going to attune to their new items during this rest?
Yep.
Okay. So you all, with your new relics, head back into your chambers, or into the rooms that you have been granted at the Outcast Inn. Settling down for the evening, many of you take your new treasures into your hands and contemplate the nature of the magic running through them that you've been informed of, and begin to focus on that essence, having been told that some sort of connection is necessary for you to use these items. So, as we'll just do these one at a time then. Start with Lucius. As you sit down with these boots in your hand, contemplating the way which they were given to you, you find that they begin to pulse almost with a magical energy. You place them on your feet and concentrate, and you watch as the metal and leathers of the boots begin to shift and contort to fit your form. And as you do, you contemplate on the nature of the enchantment and what it is that you wish to receive from it and how you wish to benefit from it. What shape do you see these boots taking?
They become knee-length leather boots, more moccasin type, probably a dark leather with black leather ties that go around them and silver. But I can actually show you what they look like because I have a pair of them. But yeah, they're like knee-length leather boots.
Okay.
With like silver buckles that go up the sides and that you can tie off.
Okay. So as you concentrate and they begin to shift, sort of matching your not only sort of outwardly style, but the inner nature of your personality. So as that's happening, Lilibet, same thing, as you sit down with your amulet and place it around your neck as you contemplate on it. How do you see the amulet sort of shifting to match you, Lilibet's personality?
So I think it's like a little, I guess tableau is the best word that I can put, like the small little, basically plaque, and it depicts the sun and a ray, like casting out darkness, making a path for light and for good, but in the moon, or in the sun is kind of the faint outline of a crescent moon that mimics Lilith's symbol.
Okay.
That's what I got.
Yeah. So as the metal shifts and you can hear it sort of bending as it hums with energy, you sort of watch in amazement as this happens. Sado, as you sit there with this kind of cumbersome iron helmet that you've been sitting with for some time and having identified, you look it over and you have more of an innate understanding of how all this is going to work through your identify spell, but it too begins to attune to you. How do you see the helmet changing?
It gets form fitting to the head, and it also covers up most of the face, but like leaves enough room for his glasses so that he can still see.
Okay.
But just kind of a kind of flowy pattern to the back, where it's like it's smooth and like kind of fans out towards the back.
Okay, cool. So you sit there and you actually place it over your head and you watch as the metal sort of bends, reaching out and forming across your mouth and nose as the eyes kind of pull back, setting in a little bit more form-fitted, keeping your peripheral vision. You feel it forming to you well. You can still take it off and look at it, kind of admire how it has shifted and changed. And as that is happening, Den, as the last person who's here, how do you see, as you take this ring in your hand that you've sat there for some time wondering how this is going to fit with your webbed fingers, how do you see this ring shifting?
Yeah, I think that for Den, she's a pretty simple person, so it's nothing too fancy, but I think the ring kind of forms to fit because she does have the webbing halfway through, to less of like a standard ring and more of a cuff. So like that would fit over that way, with probably some kind of like lightning bolt type symbol on the front.
Okay. And so the metal reforms, still having that pliable nature to it, so you don't lose any mobility on your hand, but now fitting snugly across your fingers in a sort of traditional Triton jewelry design that is not seen too often here on the surface. As all of your items fit, as each of you in your own quarters are heading off to rest for the evening, and as this occurs, you all, as the items finish their transformation almost, the magical energy ceases to hum, and each of you sees for a moment a golden strand of energy that briefly connects each of you at the center of your chest to the item itself. For a moment, just this flash of gold strand, almost like light catching it from the setting sun, and then it dissipates. There's nothing there that you can feel, but you all sort of have that same sensation. Okay. So as you, after having this strange experience, head off to sleep for the evening, eventually the sun begins to rise and you hear the sounds of business out in the courtyard in front of the inn. You all begin to make your way down into the tavern after your morning prayers and rituals to have some breakfast and discuss what you were going to do. So as you all gather on the tavern floor of the Outcast Inn, how would you like to proceed?
I have a question.
Sure.
Does my arm still hurt, or is all the pain gone now that I have an arm again?
It's sore. It feels weaker, like your arm was asleep and now the circulation is coming back to it. It's not physically weaker by any means, but it definitely feels off, and you're kind of having to adjust to it. Your skin feels tight. You don't have any scars or any markings on it that you would have had previously. It is, by all intents and purposes, a new arm that you are essentially sort of breaking in.
Okay.
But the pain is gone for the most part, though. As you slept throughout the evening, you did find yourself waking up at one point in a cold sweat with this just reliving that severe agony of that moment. And as you wake, you grasp your arm, feeling that it's still there. But you know that's probably going to affect you for a while.
So, where do we go now?
Well, I think we need to go and talk to the commandant and the commander.
They did want to speak to us. I completely forgot.
Yeah.
Before
I'm
we,
sure they
what
want to
about?
thank us for bringing back the sword.
oh yeah.
We did good on that, guys.
Yeah,
Before
that was
we
good.
go, though, we need to make a decision
About
whether we're gonna be their messenger people, whatever it is they want us to do.
well, I know they wanted to speak to us about something. Maybe that is it.
Well, they've already pitched us the idea, and we told them me and Lil told them we'd decide.
Yeah.
So I think maybe we should talk about it and go in knowing what we're gonna say.
I agree.
I mean, nobody else is feeling like what they're gonna ask us to tell the tabaxi or whatever the word is. We can do it, right? There's not a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I was more worried about making the trip just us. It's very far.
Do we have
Yeah.
any idea of how long this trip will be from here to there?
3 months?
As you're saying, the star, who's been eating quietly to the side, looks up and says, from the last time I made the journey, it was about 50 days.
50 days.
Yes.
So, yeah, about 3 months. Alright, well,
So we'll be going with a caravan, without a caravan.
Without.
Excuse me. It'll be just us.
I don't know how I feel about that. I'm like, we're pretty important and all, but we're not, like, that important.
Well, I
But-
mean, it's less people for us to protect. All we have to worry about is each other. And we're pretty good at that,
We're really
for
good
the
at
most
that.
part. Well, yeah.
Wow. Unless somebody decides to, just thinking about put their arm in the door. With no questions.
We all can be a little impulsive sometimes, can't we?
Was that impulsivity or was that something else? I wonder.
Well, it all worked out in the end, so I don't think we should worry about it.
No, I agree. I was just giving you a hard time. How is the arm, by the way?
It's fine.
I felt the heat from, like, in real life on that one. Alright.
Well,
we have-
shall we?
We have to talk to them anyway, we might as well just go.
I mean, there's pros and cons to go with the caravan. I mean, if we don't get there first, or maybe clear the way for the caravan, we could be asking for more things to attack the caravan, which 6 of one, half dozen of the other, I guess.
Well, let's go talk to them, see what they have in mind. We all know that us together can take care of anything so far, so we'll see.
Okay. So as you guys gather together, I should also mention too, because this is the first time it's really coming up in game. A month is 42 days in in Sarthia, so it's actually a little bit less than a month. I think I sent you the calendar. There's a calendar floating around somewhere, but yeah.
I have it.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I'm a weirdo and like to track time.
Yeah. But anyway, so as you all gather together with your Barb and Star in there as well, so I'm going to kind of just tag along with you for now. As you make your way out of the inn, you can see the soldiers sort of busily gathering in the courtyard. They have some wagons. They seem like they're loading up with supplies to be brought to Evandale, to the south, trying to restock the city. As you pass by, some of them give nods, a few of them give salutes in your direction out of appreciation for what you've done. As you make your way up to the keep, one of the guards by the door looks to your group and says, "Oh, good, you've here. The commandant and the commander are in the main hall here. They'll wish to speak with you right away. Just right through here," and points through the door. As you follow his direction, you see the large sort of front hall of the keep is packed right now with tables where a number of the soldiers are gathering supplies. The nobles seem to all be clustered around, those that came with you on the ship, all seem to be clustered around a table that is just strewn with maps. The commandant and the captain also looking at it as well, kind of trying to corral this group. As the captain Race sees you, she gives a wave in your directions and beckons you to approach quickly. As you come over, she walks around the table and says, "Well, we heard the news. It's good to hear that everything worked out. So, I'm sure that you have received our message."
Well, we know you want to talk to us, at least.
Yes. Grabs the commandant. She motions over to the burly man that is standing on the other side of the table, still wearing his golden armor. He kind of shrugs off the nobles that are trying to get his attention, walks around the table, and without really breaking stride, starts walking past you and says, "Follow me," and motions to walk back out into the courtyard, to the fresh open air. You all sort of struggle to keep up. A rather tall, imposing man. As you make your way into the center of the courtyard, he stops, looks around and takes a deep breath and turns back towards all of you and says, "Oh, lot to do right now. Excellent work, all of you. So, as we spoke last time," and he motions to you, Lucius, "as we spoke last time about the news received about the Ondakir ships to the south or off the southern coast, things are going faster than we anticipated. I'm sure that you've been told that we would like very much for you and the Tabaxi Star that we have brought along as our guide to clear the way for us and to move as a scouting party / emissary to 1,000 Steps to try to get a handle on the situation. You'll be compensated for your work. Sure to be dangerous, but we don't have any other options right now, and I hate not having other options."
Are the ships any closer to the shore, or?
From what we know, it's an even race. They're coming from the southern coast, and we're coming from the north.
North.
We don't know what they will be dealing with along the way. The Tabaxi aren't hostile towards the Ondakir Empire as of yet.
Like that matters to them.
No, but they won't have any hostility, or none of the natives should be giving them any trouble.
It is a blessing and a curse what my people do. You know, and on one hand, as horrible as it sounds, I almost want them to strike first. It would slow them down. It would show the Tabaxi how they really are. But on the same side of the coin. They may not take kindly to any stranger in their land after this.
True, and if Ondak here engaged in outright hostility towards the Tabaxi, that would work well in our favor, at least in the long run. But from the information that we've received from your organization, it seems that they are looking to establish friendly relations, you could say.
As friendly as the Empire is able to do with creatures they think, who are not worthy of life.
And this is...
Sorry, I have a question.
Sure.
Maybe I'm just not really understanding, but if they want to be friendly and you want to be friendly, can't you both just be friendly? I feel like that's how friendship works. I'm not from here, so...
You're from Balavar, correct?
Thereabouts.
You're familiar with what happened?
Well, vaguely.
Ondak here began the same way in the territories of Balavar, with the Khans that ruled over those lands. They established friendly relations, sought to open up trade, and before too long, the taxes that they levied on the people there, the favors they requested from the great grass lords grew too much, and that's when the trouble began. At that point, Balavar was too weakened to put up a fight, and the armies of Ondak here swept over the lands. That will happen here too, unless we can convince the Tabaxi Council to side with us.
So we gotta beat them there.
If we can, and if we can't, you will have to convince them that we are on their side.
That makes sense.
It's kind of a reason why I am here.
Exactly.
Is there, aside from your bringing Star along, is there any other Tabaxi that you've made contact with at all? That may be somewhere in between here and Thousand Steps? I mean, 50 days to travel is a lot to not see any.
The Tabaxi villages are clustered around the caldera. There are some that we've established trade routes with, though they are a ways away from here, probably 2 or 3 weeks travel. They don't have any political say within the council. The only relationships we've been able to create thus far have been purely economic ones and trade related. Up until this point, we've been trying to establish goodwill within the council and within the capital city. This has accelerated those plans.
Okay, thanks.
How many ships were there again?
By our count, 3 or so. There might have been more or less. The information that we had was minimal. Only the amount that could safely make it to our hands.
But they got through the blockade, so if a few did, more could.
Exactly. We don't know the status of the privateer blockade.
Yeah, we need to get going then, because if they can get through that blockade, I don't know who is there with them. It could be anyone, but the faster we get to 1,000 steps, the better it would be.
That sounds right. So do we know where we're going? Like, I assumed that Star knew where we were going. Do we need, like, a map or something?
At this point, the Commandant turns towards Star, and Star, who's been standing there with his arms crossed, thinking for a bit, gives a nod and says, I have an idea. I think what I'll do is I'll move ahead, scout ahead. I'll leave marks along the trees so that you can move quickly behind. If I come across any blockage, I'll double back and be able to mark out an even path along the way. That should accelerate our movement. I can go faster through the trees than we can as a group. I can scout ahead and map out the best path, the best route.
Yeah, that sounds smart.
The Commandant says, well, that's the best map or the best guide we have. We'll count on you clearing a path, and there are roads that have been traveled by the merchants and traders seeking to establish relations with the capital that we can follow. It shouldn't be as troublesome as it was the first times that we set wagons and horses through there. But we'll follow that route as quickly behind you as we can, though it may be a few weeks. I have this for you, and he reaches to behind him and pulls out a scroll that has a red wax seal on the front, bearing the crest of the Stalwart Keepers, and he hands it forward to Lucius. And he says, you're familiar with most of our correspondence thus far. This merely is an official document that might help the Tabaxi understand the situation that we're in. Make sure the seal stays intact.
I will do just that.
Make sure it gets to the council. Yes.
I will.
I have another question.
You don't need to raise your hand. I'm right here. We can speak openly.
I just wanted to be polite because I interrupted you earlier. I'm sorry. So here's my question though. So we have Star with us, which is great. And we love you, Star. Don't the Tabaxi speak their own language? Do they speak any other languages, or are we going to have to sort of rely on Star to talk to them for all of us?
I do speak Tabaxi.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wow.
I figured I'd have to learn the language if I wanted to trade with them, so...
How many languages do you speak? Is it a
5,
lot?
I believe.
5? You are so smart.
Oh, 4.
He's good to have in a pinch, always.
Wow. Alright, well, I mean, that makes me feel better, I guess.
And Star chimes in says, and in the years that trade has been happening, common has become fairly widespread amongst my people. Not all of them speak it, but yes.
I was just curious.
I highly doubt any of the languages I speak will be of use.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Unless you know Abyssal, I'm pretty out.
I can talk to things in the water.
Hey, you never know when stuff comes in handy.
It's very true.
It's nice to have a diverse bag of tricks.
Speaking about bag of tricks, Din was the last one that had the bag of holding, right?
No. Stadel has it. I was just asking him if I could put stuff in it.
Okay. Sadel, do you mind if I put this in the bag so it does not get broken, lost, destroyed, eaten by bears?
Not at all. I'll put it in there for you.
Thank you so much.
Bears here.
It's a forest, I assume.
We're gonna find out.
Dire bears, some, yes.
Oh yeah, that's better. Great.
The giant apes are more of a problem.
We must keep an eye out for giant apes now.
Good to know.
That and snakes.
Dogs that, disappear every so often, giant apes, snakes.
I like snakes though.
This trip is going to be fantastic.
Do you guys not like snakes?
No, snakes
Why
are
does it
okay.
always have to be snakes?
I like snakes.
I don't mind them as long as they don't try to get all bitey. I mean, but they kind of warn you if they're gonna get bitey, so
Yeah.
it's not that bad.
These ones won't bite you. They'll just swallow you whole.
You know,
Didn't that
usually
happen-
the snakes are more afraid of you than you are of them.
Didn't you once get swallowed whole in like 2 days ago?
We aren't talking about that.
I did too. It's not funny.
I almost
The inside
did.
of grung are disgusting.
I got
mean,
like half into
Now
a
that
frog.
now that you are perfectly okay and you are alive and it is behind us, I must say it's kind of funny. Like I'm
I'll
glad
show
you are alive.
Funny.
Look,
I'll
we
show you
understand.
funny.
It's a very scary experience. Some of us have been there.
It's really tight quarters.
Mhm. And she's real small.
She's
So
really tiny.
that's, yeah.
So
Anyway,
it's just another thing we have to worry about.
we won't bring it up again. Or we won't bring it up around anyone else. Anyway.
It's
How's
nice and
the
swollen.
how's the jumping thing going?
The jumping thing? Which
He looks at the commandant. Because remember he took the drink and it was like
Yeah,
I think
the
maybe
commandant.
that's probably something else we don't want to talk about.
The commandant just sort of clears his throat. So, in regards to your payment,
Which is probably much less now.
probably.
he looks back towards the captain, and she comes up and she says, "This will cover anything you may need within the city. We would pay you in gold, but we have found in our travels it hasn't been terribly well received in the Tabaxi cities. They don't trade in gold the same as we do. Here's and she hands a pouch of, she hands a leather pouch over to Den.
I open it.
Okay. Inside are about 5 gemstones, look to be diamonds.
Oh. Alright.
She says, the value of this is roughly 500 gold pieces. Should be enough to cover the expenses you should incur along your travels and to compensate you for the work that you have done so far."
I hand him the saddle. He's the responsible one.
Equal payment will be provided to you after the job has been taken care of.
So that was my other question. Should we come back here, assuming we don't get eaten by snakes or chased out of the city with scary weapons? Should we come back here? Are you all coming to the city? What's the end game?
The commandant says, "Coming back here would mean that things are beyond repair in 1,000 steps. Everything going as planned. We, myself and the nobles we have brought with us, and a number of my soldiers will meet you in the city."
That makes sense. I just, I like to know the whole plan all the way through.
Look for us, hopefully 3 weeks after you've arrived. Any longer than that, we might have run into some difficulties along the roads or in prepping for our journey. I can't get anybody to agree on anything right now.
What are you fighting about?
It's
Politics.
I don't even know anymore. They're just arguing about everything.
Politics.
Yes.
I have 7 siblings, so I know what that feels like.
There's a lot of arguments about trade routes and who should be able to collect and provide transport and collect taxes, and it's all overly complicated.
Well, if you want me to knock some heads together, say, hey, more important things happening. That's sort of what I'm good at.
I'll consider it.
Arguing amongst themselves about land that is actually not theirs and, trying to levy taxes on something that they might be kicked out of. It's
Yes.
brilliant ideas.
You people argue about weird stuff up here. on the
You
land.
have no idea.
It's sort of strange, but alright. Well, I guess if you need any more help, just let us know. Is there any way, I mean, we know collectively sort of a little bit about magic now, but is there any way that, like, if you meet trouble on the road, that you can contact us, or, like, let us know?
Not that I'm aware of. We'll send scouts ahead if we come across anything. We have good soldiers here that can travel quickly and meet up with you if need be. It's not the fastest means. We also have some carrier birds and ravens that we could send your way.
Alright.
That works.
If that's it, I should probably get back in there before they start demanding duels or something.
I'm saying, knock them together. More important things.
I wish. Is there anything else that we can provide to you?
Which
All right.
way do we go? That way?
South. Everything here is south.
South it is.
All right. May the six guide you. He gives a nod towards you and heads back towards the into the keep. The captain lags behind a bit. She turns back. She says, "May the six guide you, and thank you once again for." And she pats her hilt where her sword now rests again. I do not know still why they decided to take it from me.
It was shiny.
I guess. Right. Safe travels. She
Thank
heads
you.
back.
I'm pretty sure there's something like about that sword that they wanted that she's not telling us. Just saying.
Maybe it's magic.
I'm pretty sure it's magic.
Or maybe the Grung thought it was magic. They look real silly now because they're all dead, so...
This is very true.
Star says, well, I guess I'll head out and begin scouting ahead unless... How soon are we to leave?
I'm pretty sure they want us to leave as soon as possible.
I figure right now I don't have anything to do.
Alright.
I mean, far from home, in a different country, whatever else is there to do?
I'll grab my things and begin scouting ahead then. I'll meet up with you in the evenings to go over what it is, the direction we're heading. I'll leave marks along the trees to mark your path if you don't see me.
Okay.
What?
Wait, sorry. I didn't
Yes.
press the right button. Can I, before he goes, can I cast aid on him?
Okay. You can do that. So cast aid on him, and he, you see the energy sort of course through his fur, sort of causing him to stand up toward his shoulder, and he passes it back down. Thank you.
Be careful.
All right.
Sorry, what your marks on the trees look like? Just so we know it's your mark and not somebody else's mark.
A cat face.
Star was here.
A star.
I'll do a
A
star on the
star.
trees.
Alright.
Thank you.
All right. He pulls up the hood on his cloak and begins to rush off quickly through the gates.
And not that I would be the most weird one in this group.
He's not weird.
He's weird in a good way. Like, I like it. It's cool. It's good
He's
to
very
see someone.
smart.
He's incredibly intelligent.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take, because Star needs to go ahead. I mean, I know he's fast, but I'm gonna take 5 minutes and just go do a little quick prayer, and then let's go.
Do you want to go by the
Alright.
temple?
Yes, please.
I'll go. Sadell, you want to go?
Yeah, I'll join you.
Bob, you want to go?
Sure.
Alright, Lucius, we'll be back.
Have fun. I
Or
will
you
be.
can come if you want.
Me in temple is probably not a good idea. I mean,
I don't know, I think you'd like my god, but
I don't know your god, so
never know
We
till
have-
you try.
we have 50 days. You could probably tell me about it. Him, her, it,
Her,
them,
her.
her. Her it is. Have fun.
Okay.
We all go to church.
Okay, you all head over.
Take me to church. Thank you, Sarah, for going with me on that journey.
So the church catches on fire.
I did not do it. This is why I don't go into church.
Lucius!
You head over to the chapel, and as you head inside, you actually see a figure kneeling at the altar, or actually kind of towards the center of the room, kneeling there, an older gentleman that you all recognize, the one you traveled here with, Bishop Elclair. The older, sort of balding man with the white beard.
The one that I held on the ground till he stopped hopping.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my buddy.
As you enter, he is deep in his prayers, and he sits up a bit and turns over and says, welcome. Good to see you all doing all right. I'm afraid I don't remember your names.
Oh, I'm dead. I held you down when you were hopping.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm Lilibet.
Good to see you again.
I'm Sadell.
Hello, Sadell. Well, I'll get out of your way. And Barb's like, I'm Barb. Hello to you too. Bing. Bing. He begins to pull himself to his feet using his cane and says, I'll get out of your way so that you can use the chapel. It was good seeing all of you. Begins to make his way through the doors.
Lucius is like literally standing outside the doors, just waiting for them.
Yeah, he sees you and kind of stops for a second. I'm sorry. Good to see you too.
That's perfectly fine.
So the
It's
bishop.
good to see you.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
So I'm trying to remember. So the bishop
I
is
was
like.
talking.
Oh, sorry. What did you say? I didn't hear
No.
you say. What did you say, Kyle? Sorry.
I'm joking with
You're
Savannah
just
because
being
she was
mean.
being. Continue.
Just being mean to me today. So the bishop, I was just trying to remember. He's like a priest of all the six.
Yes.
Right. Oh God. Not just like one of the gods, all of them. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he's one of the he's one of the bishops of the Church of Randall, which worships the six as a
All
whole.
of them.
Yeah.
That's right. Thank you.
But he, what was it you said, Lucius? Sorry, you cut off. I didn't hear that.
When he jumped, he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." I'm like, I'm completely used to it. It's good to see you again."
It's good to see you too. Sorry, just have a good day. And he kind of like awkwardly not knowing what to say in his old age, and just kind of walks past you with a nod and heads back towards the keep.
I love him.
He's so good.
But the rest of you sit down in the chapel and do your prayers. Sadell and Barb kind of squished over to one side, both sitting before the shrine of Aricia. But each of you saying your own prayers. Yes.
When I'm praying,
Do things explode?
do rocks fall? Does my arm just feel like, I know it feels weak, but does it feel like normal? Or does it feel like, because I think it's some magic that I don't really understand, that like Den doesn't really understand, and so I guess, does it feel normal? It's not like my god's not looking down on me like, where did you get that? Or something.
It like you got it from something
Yeah,
evil and blasphemous.
I guess I don't really understand where it came from. So just
Does the arm like catch on fire
Is
when
it
you
like
start praying?
Is it like a demon arm? No, I just mean something like that.
Okay. Yeah, so you sit down and pray and, sort of meditating over the day's events and thinking about whatever blessing it was that you received. Make a religion check.
All right, here we go. 4.
4. Okay, so you don't understand it, but it doesn't feel off. Feels fine. Your sort of connection with your deity seems to still be there. And it doesn't seem rejected in any way. You don't fully understand the nature of how your arm was restored to you, but it seems like it's kosher.
Oh, good. That makes me feel good.
Kosher meaning devoid of black magic in this world. It's an ancient elven word.
Not like meat.
No.
Good. Good. I'm glad. I'm learning so many new words today.
So, while Lil's praying, I don't know why, I just feel compelled to state all this, but she's worried because she went unconscious and she's worried she's not ready for this. So she she does a little prayer about, guidance and keeping her safe and keeping her grandmother in good health because she wants to see her again and doesn't want to die. So that's what she prays about.
Okay. Any other prayers that need to be stated?
Lucius is snoozing outside.
Hear the snores echo again. Zeto.
Just the typical keep my aim true. We all make good decisions. Please especially watch out over a little bit. That kind of thing.
Or my wife will kill me.
Or my wife will kill me.
All right.
I want to pray for my friends too, because I don't do that as much as I should. Den thinks, but yeah.
Okay. The funniest part is I'm pretty sure it is the check my calendar. Yeah, it is the Sarthia version of Sunday right now. So you guys are all getting in your Sunday prayers. But you all sit down and meditate, contemplate on the journey to come and preparing for that. As you all finish, you stand and help each other up, feeling assured that your patrons and deities are looking down upon you. You head out of the chapel and you see Lucius sort of in the afternoon sun, leaned up, his back against the walls of the chapel and sort of snoring as he sits there in the dirt.
I pull on his tail.
I didn't do it. Whatever it was, if anything was on fire, I didn't do it. What? Oh, you guys are done. It's nice. It's nice here. I like this country.
Are you talking about fire?
No, nothing of this sort. I was having a bad dream. It's fine.
Okay.
Is anything on fire though?
No.
Good. That's good. It's very good.
Maybe the lava in the caldera.
True.
Yeah, but that's like 50 days away. It's fine. It's okay.
We'll find out when we get there.
See, I told you it was nothing. It was fine. Whatever. He says to himself.
You okay, Lucius?
I'm just coming out of a dream. It's. I did not get much sleep last night.
Me either.
Okay.
Is everyone good? Did their deities bless them with the blessings of bless them? Whatever.
It's not quite how it works, but sure. Let's go with it.
All right.
I mean, that's closer than most people get it, so.
Well.
Let's go!
It works, so let's go.
Road trip!
Okay. You all gather your supplies. Some provisions are granted to you, enough to get you through the journey, so we don't have to sit here and deal with the monotony of figuring out how much food you have.
Don't forget to get Barb oat cakes.
Oat cakes.
Barb has all the oat cakes that she wants for
We
this
just
journey.
fill up the bag of holding.
Right.
Yes, I'm totally full of oat cakes.
Maybe not that many.
54 mirrors. That's what we need.
But you fill up you fill up on supplies, have enough provisions to make it through. I think most of you guys from your packs have camping supplies and anything you might need. But for the sake of the journey ahead, we're just going to assume that in the bag of holding, you guys have everything that you need to not die in the jungle, at least from starvation or dehydration.
The great apes, the snakes, the dogs that disappear. Those are different. But starvation, we've got covered.
I
Yeah.
make sure that we pack whatever water they give us. I make sure we pack extra.
Okay.
I
Good to
drink a
know.
lot of water.
It's like we're going to Burning Man.
You can create
Now-
water too, can't you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
What am I, a cleric?
Yes.
I don't know. What are you?
I know I can purify.
I
food and
can.
Water.
I have create or destroy water.
Awesome.
So, yes. Thank you. I can do that.
Sean,
Yeah.
Can I get like 4 bottles of wine from the inn to put in the bag of holding?
Okay.
Pretty please.
Yeah. Any wine specifically?
2 reds and 2 whites.
Okay. Yeah. You are able to get 4 bottles of wine.
As she's walking that way, I go, get extra!
We're
Okay.
going to the jungle.
Do we want to just assume you guys have enough alcohol for this journey too?
Why not?
Well, I'm not buying it for drinking.
I know
I'm
you're not buying it, but yeah, or for drinking.
But okay, so I'll buy as long as I have enough money. I'll buy 8 bottles of wine, 4 of each, 4 whites, 4 reds.
We'll throw this in as part of the provisioning of all of
Okay,
this
cool.
that you guys are given some to hold. They didn't throw it in initially because they didn't know you guys had a magical bag that could carry all of this, but we'll make the assumption that you guys are able to be fully stocked with.
Sweet.
Oh,
Is it one of those?
benevolent dungeon master.
Here's your backpack of stuff. And we're like, oh no, we're special. We need more. And just take the backpack and shove it in the bag of holding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Dylan, do you have the list of the bag of holding? Are you good with that, or you want me to add that to it?
Yeah, I can add it.
Awesome. Thank you. That's all I wanted to make sure I had.
Okay. So as you gather everything together, gather your supplies, clear out your rooms at the inn, and make your way out the gates to the south, beginning your journey towards 1,000 Steps. So, do a change of music. All right. As you make your way through the jungles to the south, the first day of travel carries on pretty uneventfully. This is a sort of terrain that you've traveled before on your way to Evandale. You spend the rest of the day moving through the forest, eventually towards the evening, coming upon the city, seeming to be in the process of rebuilding, the people there being tended to medically by the priests and physicians that have been sent over from the fort. You're able to rest within the city. They don't have an inn, but they do have they don't have a functioning inn anymore. But there is plenty of campgrounds that you can stay near the city walls and or within the village walls, pretty safe. As you wake the following day and begin your journey into unexplored territory, you continue to the south, making your way between the large sort of cliff faces that lead through the Farcomers Pass. As you make your way through the jungle, you do see the markings on the trees that Star has left for you. These pretty obvious carvings into the bark that just at eye level, easy enough for you to spot, especially some of you in the party having higher perception and ability to spot these things. As the second day passes, the journey is, again, fairly uneventful. You don't encounter any sort of angry wildlife or problems within the problems with your journey as you might have expected from what Star said. No giant apes or snakes attack you. The third day, however, as you're wake up the next that morning, you head out through following this pass between the kind of hugging the cliff faces. As the day wears on, about 3 hours into your journey, there's a bit of it catches you off guard. You notice that the sun begins to, or the light in the sky begins to diminish, and if it's obviously about midday, but as you squint up towards the sky, you notice how the peripheral, that something very large is moving in front of the sun as one of the moons passes in front of the sun as the eclipse begins around noon that day. You all travel the best that you can as the light begins to fade, though you have a hard time following the markings the stars left, so you find yourself stopping for a bit, trying to sort of keep an eye on the eclipse without hurting your eyes too badly. Go ahead.
And for everyone watching on the stream, how many moons does Sarthia have?
3.
3. Thank you.
Yeah. By the timing of it, I'm trying to think many of you would know enough about astrology. Yeah, I'd say most of you guys probably would know this. Based on the timing of the year and the calendars and stuff, this is probably the second moon of Sarthia, Seraphon, that is currently passing in front of the sun. As the solar eclipse hits its sort of zenith and it fully obscures the sun, a noise begins to echo around you. There's this screeching in the jungle as all of the animal life, seemingly all around you for miles, begins to howl and screech in the sound of 1,000 voices almost crying out in agony. You all freeze for a moment, the hair on the back of your spine sort of standing on end, and then there is sort of a flash. And you all find yourselves blinking as the members of your group are no longer around you. The forest is mostly the same, some trees in different places, the river still running off to the east of you. Everything seems pretty much in its place, but as you look towards the south, you notice that looming up over the jungle itself is a massive mountain that was not there before, stretching up thousands of feet over even the tallest trees. You see near the pinnacle of the mountain, which is far, far away from you, miles and miles to the south, probably near the center of Graldarr. You see that towards the top, you notice a glistening in the setting sun, or in the sunlight of this eclipse. A gleaming city of white and gold sits upon the ridge of this mountain near its top. It is hard to make out any details of it, but it must be massive to be able to be seen from this distance. As you stare at it and try to make out the details, you squint as you see a flash of brilliant green light that comes straight from the mountain. there's a roar of an explosion as the mountain itself shatters, sending countless pieces of stone crashing down into the surrounding jungle. You see trees thrown up, uprooted instantaneously, thrown hundreds of feet, crashing into the rock faces of the cliff. Birds flocking away from the canopies. This howling of the animals continuing as this happens. And as the smoke and the rubble makes its way your direction, it stops. There's a flash once again, and you all find yourselves standing next to each other, looking at one another. The mountain gone, everything back in where it should, and the eclipse is just now beginning to move out of position.
I know I'm very strange and weird, but did anyone else just see what I just saw, or was it just me who was seeing what I saw?
No, yeah.
You guys all went away, but there was a mountain instead.
Mountain with the city and the explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah, a green light.
Yeah, that.
Hey, Sean.
Yes.
Being a fellow roof Lilavoth and the moon and stuff, can I do a religion check or something along those lines about stories about during eclipses, people have visions or something weird stuff happens during eclipses, something like that?
Okay. Yeah. Make a. I'll just do a religion check for that one.
Okay. 20, not natural.
Nice. Eclipses are something that you'd be familiar is a high time of magic, and the alignment of celestial bodies being a source of magical power for many people that draw their energies from the external world. As far as you know, there are people that use such forces as a means of deriving some sort of like prophecy or drawing magical power from them. So receiving visions at a time like this would be something that is wholly possible, and is not something that would be out of the ordinary. I mean, out of the ordinary when it comes to stuff like this.
Yeah. Would Lil have any idea of the stories she's heard? Have the prophecies been like, this could happen unless we step in? This is happening now in a different place? Is there one story more than the other kind of feel?
I mean, some people, from what you know, have visions of past events, some future events, some current events. The nature of these things being that you don't really know.
And Star's not with us, right?
Star's not.
Okay.
Well, guys, I mean, it's not unusual to get weird visions during eclipses. I mean, there's a lot of energy moving around when the planets are in the moon and the sun and Sarthia all align. A lot of stuff can happen. But that was weird. You don't think that's happening right now, do you?
I mean, I don't see the mountain. We don't see the mountain in front of us, right? Like the mountain that we saw with the city is not in front of us anymore.
No, it is gone. The mountain is not there. Instead, it's just the caldera.
Because Kyle knows how that works, would Lucius know how like calderas work or anything?
Yeah, I mean, it's not terribly difficult knowledge.
Mountains that high and large don't just disappear for nothing. So either that happened later or previous, or it happened elsewhere.
Are you saying you think we were time traveling?
I mean, you did regrow an arm. Time travel's not that unheard of. Especially if it was a
Is
vision.
it?
Without interrupting too much, just briefly before we get too off of it, Sadel, where do you keep your little trinket?
I've got like a little pouch that I can just pull it out of.
Okay. You sort of find yourself sort of instinctually after those events going to look at it, and as you take the orb from your the pouch, you do notice that it is spinning on its own, and you sort of felt it moving around in the pouch. But for a moment, during the center point of the eclipse, there was definitely some movement to it. It seems to be slowly stopping.
Okay. Then once it stops spinning around, I'll put it back in the pouch and just kind of keep that to myself.
Okay. Lucius and Den, you guys can turn. Sorry.
I mean, it could have been a vision. It could have been something else entirely. I'm not sure what it was, but since the mountain itself is literally not in front of me, it had to be something.
Maybe we saw something that happened a long time ago.
Was that? Can we assume that was Thousand Steps? Or is that someplace else?
Maybe it was 1,000 steps 1,000 years ago. I don't know.
I don't know.
When we meet up with Star, we should ask.
We should
I mean,
definitely. Maybe he saw it too.
Yeah.
I actually hope after all of that he is alright. Because he
Did
is
you
out
guys hear
there.
the animals? They went crazy.
I didn't like it at all.
I didn't like it at all.
Let us all keep a wary eye open, and this forest has more secrets than I thought possible. Maybe it's got more. And Graldarr is what, like an older kind of continent?
I mean, it's recently, I guess, discovered by the northern nations.
Okay.
Like, it's always been here. I mean, it's as old as any other continent on there. But not much is known about its history,
Gotcha.
because most of that is left to the Tabaxi.
Cool.
Based on eclipses, I mean, are the animals starting to quiet down, and like it's now that we're on the waning end of the eclipse, it's getting brighter again?
Yeah. The sounds are beginning to diminish, and the sun is beginning to come back out.
Everybody okay?
As okay as I think we can be. Nothing got damaged.
Okay. Well, onward?
Onward.
Yeah.
When's the next eclipse? We should be ready.
Would I know?
Would any of us know?
Yeah, I was gonna say, would any of us know? But I mean, because I have a little experience with like navigating, like based on things that are in the sky,
Oh yeah, okay.
like timing. Could I like try to time out the eclipses?
Okay, I'll let you make a check with your navigator's tools. I'll let you use your wisdom for that. Somebody else wanted to make one too. If somebody's proficient in nature, they could do like a nature check for it.
Well, I was gonna say, like, religion-wise and based on the moon, could I make a religion check thinking that I would know when the moon is messing with stuff? Or the moons?
Okay, I'll allow it.
I rolled a 15.
16 on religion.
Okay. Between the two of you, as far as solar eclipses go, they're fairly rare. based on your sort of navigators and knowing like the different movements of the spheres and books and things you would have struggled to read, Den, on the topic, and Lil, with your religion specifically worshiping the moons, you would be familiar with the next time there would probably be another alignment that could cause the solar eclipse would probably be during Wind Nove, which would be basically 3 months. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, probably about 3 months from now.
120 days is what you said, because like 42 days is
42
month, right?
days ish, so given about 120 days. You don't know where it would be, because it depends a lot on where you would be on which continent, whether it be a partial or full eclipse. But yeah, that's the best you can tell. Yeah,
So-
seeing a full eclipse like you just did is extremely rare.
So even if there was another one, that's a long way away.
Yeah. That was strange. Does that happen to anybody else? I mean, with an eclipse or anything?
I'm guessing no.
Sadell, no offense, but you've been around a while.
I'm pretty sure she just called you old.
Sorry,
Well,
is
that's
that rude?
all right. I'm not getting any younger. But no, I can't say I've experienced anything like that.
Okay, well, anybody see the next star? Or we just kind of keep going straight for a while.
Well, we follow the path. Are the
Okay.
stars still there?
Yeah, you're able to, after a
Okay.
few moments of looking around, finding the stars on the trees that Star has made, and you can begin following those.
Lil's gonna kind of keep her attention up for, I don't know, animals, because I feel like they may be residually a little bit less predictable after this. I don't know why. That's what Lil's gonna.
Okay, you can. Just make a perception check.
Ooh, 18.
Okay. All right. So as you guys move forward and you begin following the path that Stars left for you, continuing deeper through the pass, you keep an eye out and an ear out for animal behavior. You don't notice any sort of changes or anything moving towards you or being aggressive. The animals all seem to have returned to their previous state. Everything seems to be safe for the most part. As you make your way forward for the rest of the day, falling deeper and deeper into the jungle, eventually evening falls and you all settle down, camping underneath the dense tree cover. The next day you wake, continue. No eclipses that day, but towards the evening when you settle down to rest, you do notice that there is a shower of starlight, shooting star, like a meteor shower, I guess, that falls that evening. Sort of catches your eyes and seems important given the events of the day before. However, no visions or screeching animals or anything like that. It's beautiful, but it's not anything typically out of the ordinary. So following along this path and following Star, 2 weeks pass of you guys journeying through these woods or these forests and making your way through the pass. So about be 12 days. as you journey and make your way farther down the pass, eventually reaching about the end of it, where the river that leads from Evandale makes its way to a larger lake that you can see from atop a ridge down into a basin. As you have grown accustomed to your journeys and continuing through the forest, this would be 2 weeks after the 38th of Sol-Yu, by those of you keeping track. Let's see.
You said 38 of Sol-Yu?
Yeah.
Thank you.
As the day wears on and it gets to be about a little bit after midday, you enter an extremely dense portion of jungle. You find yourselves having to climb over large tree roots. There are beautiful and massive jungle flowers that loom down, kind of hang down from tree branches. Some of them giving off sort of rotten smells. Others that seem to almost recoil at the movement of nearby creatures. As you kind of stumble through this thicket, say who'd be going first?
Somebody with a high perception, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I'm unimpeded by rough terrain, so
That is true.
Oh, so I'm sure Lil's having a hard time. Not gonna lie, with her short little stumpy legs.
Probably a little bit.
Sean, can I ask one quick question?
Sure.
Are we following an actual path that's overgrown because it hasn't been traversed in a while because they've stopped the trade routes because of all the grung, or is Star taking us an off-road route?
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
why don't both?
There are some portions that seem to be traveled and overgrown, but have been cleared away. It appears that there have been people traveling along through the pass, just not in huge numbers based on what you can tell. But from what you can tell, this does seem to be some sort of route that leads through Farcomer's Pass that has been traversed for some time, either by the Tabaxi or by Evrandal. But it does get a little bit off-road-ish at some points. This wouldn't be an area that you'd want to bring a wagon through. However, as the two of you make your way forward, Lucius and Den, as you cross over a large kind of gnarled cluster of tree roots, you find yourself stopping very quickly and stopping short of a sort of a pit in the ground. There is a section of the ground that looks like it has been dug away and hastily tried to cover up. It looks like it's collapsed either from near a recent rainfall or some branches falling. But there is a hole in the ground that you almost step in, about 5 feet wide, that is filled with bones.
I'm not going to say that is an omen, but in the past 2 weeks, we've had massive eclipse with exploding mountains, and then this. So we need to be more careful than we have been. What do the bones look like? Sorry, Savannah.
It's fine. I was just gonna ask, does it look like a trap?
Does not. It looks like something put the bones here and tried to cover it up.
Like a grave?
Sort of like a mass grave.
How deep is the pit?
Very big dog.
Yeah. It's hard to tell, but you guess probably somewhere between 5 and 10 feet.
Like deep?
Yeah.
Does it look, or I guess, am I there? Have we walked
Yeah,
up by this
you're
point?
all there, yeah.
Hello,
Can I-
everyone, look at these bones.
Can I climb down into the pit?
Sure.
Does the ground look consecrated? Like, does it look like it may not be symbols I recognize, but does it look like it's done with care, or does it look haphazard? Does it look hastened?
It does not look like it's been done in any sort of ritual way. It looks like somebody has been throwing either bodies or bones into here. And then, like I said, it looks like somebody tried to cover it up with some tree branches and large leaves, but it has collapsed inward, making it visible to all of you.
Yeah, he jumps in.
Okay, you jump in, and there's kind of a as you're like the crunch of bones underneath you as you begin to look through them. Did you say you were inspecting them?
Yeah, because I'm like being part of the Ondokir army. I'm probably used to mass graves.
Go to make a medicine check.
$10?
They look humanoid, as far as you can tell.
Well, would I know anything about, like, being around Star for probably a while? Do I know anything about, like, Tabaxi skull? Like, can I look at this and be like, this is a Tabaxi?
You can, and you do. It does look like they're Tabaxi. They don't look like human or tiefling or any of the other humanoid races. Sort of like an elongation to their snout, like a cat skull.
I don't like this.
How do they look fresh? Do they look bleached out? How do they look?
I shout down into the hole.
With that medicine check, it's hard to tell.
I don't know. I've been out of this. I haven't seen mass graves in a long time, so I'm kind of rusty. I apologize.
Let me take a look.
All right, you toss some bones up to her. You got to make a medicine check too, Den.
This whole time, I'm just kind of keeping a lookout at our surroundings.
Okay, you make a perception check.
I rolled a 9.
9.
I have a +6. My feelings are hurt.
11 on the perception.
Okay. You looking at them, Den, about the same as it was before. You're going to have to spend some more time with it if you're going to want to try to figure anything else out about it. But you get about the same thing. Looks Tabaxi. Doesn't look... or you can't tell anything else about it.
No idea.
And there's probably, what, like hundreds, maybe thousands of these things?
I wouldn't say that many, no. Maybe
Okay.
a few dozen.
Can I see if it's nothing but bone, or if it's like armor, or...
Okay. So you kind of sift through it.
Yeah.
You find some remnants of clothing, no armor, and nothing else that you can really identify. Make an investigation check, actually.
I was about to say, I'm like, since Star isn't here, do we know anything about Tabaxi burials? 20, not natural, but 20.
20. You investigate the bodies, or you investigate, like, pulling apart the bones and kind of sifting through them. You do find one object that seems to stand out from the rest. It's a kind of... looks like it's made of cloth, and you pull it out and you dust it off. It's got mud and kind of caked over it. It looks like a moldy little stuffed animal.
Lucius goes incredibly quiet in that hole. How big is it?
Not very big, probably. Yeah.
He's just quiet, and he's just basically kneeling there.
You're
Just-
right.
Yes. What'd you find?
He just stands up and looks at them. And Lucius, for kind of the month or so that you've known him, if not more, is quiet and kind of reserved. He talks every so often, especially when it's like something he's excited about. But you see rage on his face, the likes that you've never seen before, and he is pissed. And he just holds it up. If this was a mass grave, there were children in here.
This isn't good. Sadell, can you, since Star's not here, can you see any, like, trails leading away? I mean, they would have, to get this many bodies in a hole, somebody's got to leave a mark.
I'll take a look.
Actually, at that moment, Sadell, as you're keeping an eye on the surroundings, you do hear something that sounds like a crack of a tree branch. And you hear a shout coming from the south of you.
I just instinctively point my gun. And did anybody else hear it, or was it just me?
You're the one keeping an eye out. You're the one that noticed it while everybody else was having this conversation.
I don't think we're alone.
He gets out of the hole.
Yeah, I start looking around.
Okay.
We'll
As you're
pull
all
Warhammer out.
as you all begin to focus and look around, you do hear, all of you hear kind of another cracking noise. It sounds like a tree branch breaking, and you hear another sort of shout echo from beyond. It sounds like a woman, and she sounds like she's in pain.
The vapor puppet is out, by the way.
Okay, use your action to create that. But it's coming from probably about 100 feet or so to the south of you through the dense trees. It doesn't seem like it's coming towards you.
I start going that way.
Yeah, he just takes off.
That way.
Okay, you start rushing through the branches, through the trees as fast as you can. Lucius, you're moving a bit faster. Are you trying to stay pace with the rest of the group, or are you moving ahead?
No, seeing still holding the teddy bear, he's probably taking off.
Okay.
Can I, just while we're going, I don't want to get in his way, but can I try to, like, stay a little bit in front of Sadell? Just because I have my shield and stuff.
Sure, you can do that.
Barb, a little help.
Barb looks down and she's like, oh, okay. And she actually grabs you by the back of your armor and footballs you through the trees as she goes making her way forward, trying to keep up. As you all make your way forward, Lucius, you're with kind of supernaturally be able to duck through the trees, moving faster and not impeded by the terrain. You come wheeling around the side of one of these massive jungle trees, and you see a clearing with only one figure standing in the middle of it. Looks to be a kind of light brownish colored or brown furred catfolk, tabaxi, wearing leather and cloth clothing, carrying what looks like a pole arm of some sort, kind of like maybe a glaive, standing in the middle of this clearing, currently being swung at and pummeled by a number of moving trees. And at this point,
That's new.
she turns, looks like a little bit of blood running down the side of her face. She's growling and squaring off against there's like smaller kind of shrub-like trees around her ankles that are whipping up at her. There's two larger full-grown trees that are pounding the ground as she leaps to the side, swings at one of them with the glaive. She turns around, sees you coming through the trees, gives a frightened look at first, and then looks as, help me kill these things! And she begins to swing at the branches around her. We'll have everybody roll for initiative. All right. Is everybody ready to go?
Sure.
Why not?
Okay. So that will actually put it with just showing up. Oh, no, wait. Saddle, you had advantage, so you're going to be top.
Yep.
Okay. So that will put it with Saddle going first.
I accidentally put mine was on advantage. It said it was anyways. Why is it saying that?
I think yours is right. It says 17.
On roll 20, even if you have it set to advantage, your initiative will still only roll once.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're good. So Sato.
Okay, I am going to, as a bonus action, cast Shield of Faith on the Tabaxi woman.
Okay, yeah.
And
bonus
then,
action, you hold out a hand and you see the shimmering energy swarm around her.
And then, let's see. Yeah, I could hit that big tree up here.
Yes.
Right? All right, then I will aim and fire at the giant tree up top.
Okay, take your shot.
Natural 1.
Natural 1 will miss as you cast Shield of Faith. You're going rushing forward, pulling your thunder cannon to your shoulder. You fire, but as you fire, your foot gets caught on a vine across the ground, and you stumble forward. The bullet, luckily not hitting anybody, but shooting up through the canopy, and you hear some birds kind of scattering out to the distance.
Nailed it.
Any movement, or are you staying there?
I'm just going to stay there.
Okay. That'll put it to Barb's turn.
All right, cool. Oh wait, no, not that. All right, cool. I'm gonna attack that tree too.
Okay. So you go rushing across the ground, making it into the clearing, moving straight towards the large tree that Saddle just tried to shoot at.
Yeah. And I'm just going to let's see. I'm gonna do great weapon mastery, great loot.
Okay. Regular attack or reckless?
Regular?
Reckless is the one that gives you advantage. Just a reminder. But yeah, regular attacks. So just one attack with your great loot.
Yeah. I think. Oh, I never put that in. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Cool, yeah. I'm just gonna do that.
Okay.
All right, 15.
Oh, so you are doing your reckless attack with
Sure, I guess.
advantage. Okay.
That's fine.
I know it's been a couple weeks, so yeah, a reckless attack is the one where you get to do advantage. You get advantage on your strike, so you get to roll twice and take the higher. But things get advantage when they're attacking you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you can do that. 15 will hit.
All right, cool. 4, 18 points of slashing damage.
18 damage. Okay. All right. So you rush up, taking your great loot in two hands. You come actually sweeping horizontally towards the trunk of this tree like a lumberjack, embedding the great axe a good foot into the bark and then ripping it out. You see bark and shrapnel sort of scattering across the ground, and the whole tree kind of looms in a direction. Anything else?
Can I move again?
How many feet of movement did you use to get there? 5, 10, 15. I think you still have like 5 more feet of movement.
All right, cool. I'm gonna see if I can like get out of its range.
Okay.
Just like step back a little bit.
Okay. You can step back to there. So you step back. It has long branches, so you might not be out of its range yet. That will end your turn unless you're using your bonus action to rage.
Sure. Sure, I'll rage.
Okay. All right, and as the adrenaline courses through your system, and you go into as you pluck the strings of your lute, go into your rage. It is now the tree's turn. Let's see. This one is going to kind of slide across the ground, plummeting, kind of pulling itself through the ground towards the Tabaxi woman. The other one is going to rear back and send a large bow streaking down towards you, Barb. That is going to miss you, though, as it slams towards the ground. You dodge out of the way, and this kind of the large, thick, gnarled branch slams into the earth, shaking it for a moment. As it rears back up, you see a huge indent, a divot left in the ground, knowing that probably could have done a pretty solid amount of damage if it hit. The other tree is going to come crashing down towards the Tabaxi. However, that misses too. As it slams against the ground, she's able to wheel out of the way, using her glaive to sort of pole vault herself to the side. And that will end its turn. Lucius.
All right, so he is going to move back here and attack the big tree here. He's just going to try to rend it, see if it works.
Okay.
13?
13 just hits.
Sweet.
I forgot to roll initiative for her. Go ahead.
7 points of damage.
7 points. All right.
And then the vapor puppet will move up to this little guy here and try to punch it in the face. 9 probably doesn't hit.
The little one, 9 just hits.
Oh, nice. For 7 bludgeoning.
All right, 7 points of bludgeoning damage. All right. Your vapor puppet goes kind of hovering over, takes a big sort of its smoke-covered fist and slams into the shrub on the ground, crunching it into the earth as it pulls back. You see it kind of pulling itself up. Half of its branches, little boughs, are broken. It is looking about as rough as a bush can, but it is still moving. All right. Lucius, anything else?
No, I'm good for right now, because everything else would be another action.
Okay, Den.
Okay, I would like to check the range on the spell really quick. That's right. I would like to use my bonus action to call forth my spiritual weapon.
All right.
Right over here next to this big tree.
As your thunder or lightning covered hammer forms in the air next to the tree, go ahead and make an attack with it.
23?
23 hits.
Alright. That's second. 6 force damage.
All right. As it slams into the tree, the same as Barb's axe did, knocking and scattering splinters to the ground. Anything with your action?
I will then use my action to call down a 60 feet, a sacred flame on the same tree.
Okay.
The tree has to make a dexterity saving throw.
It will try. The tree surprisingly fails its dexterity saving throw.
Well, good, because it takes 2 radiant damage.
Okay. The radiant energy comes crashing through the tree. You can see some of the wood along the bark kind of smoking a bit from the hot or the radiant blast. It's not enough to catch it on fire. It's not necessarily a fire damage, but does seem to injure the tree in some way.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna move, assuming, knowing what I know about Lilibet, that she's about to take off running towards the trees. I'm gonna kind of step up just a little bit to kind of put myself in between Sadel and Lucius, so I can stay kind of close to them and their little squishy bodies. And that'll be it. Ooh.
Okay. That'll put it to the shrub's turns. The shrub by the vapor puppet is going to retaliate against it.
Ferociously.
That is going to... What's the AC of your vapor puppet?
16.
16. That is going to miss as it whoosh, passes almost just through the smoke. The other one is going to attack the tabaxi. But with the Shield of Faith, that also misses. And that will end their turns. Lilibet.
Well, here we go. Okay. Now, Sean, I'm going to ask you this question a lot, I can tell. Is there a place I can stand in the general direction that I can reach around the big tree right here, somewhere in this area that is in direct sunlight?
Oh, yeah, with the... okay,
this is...
Yeah, with the clearing here, I will say that everything that is within this vicinity, I'll consider to be direct sunlight because it is open. There is sort of a glade here.
Yay! Okay, so I'm going to change my armor class to 17, and I'm going to do as Den says, rush in right here, and take out my warhammer and two-handed slam my warhammer down.
Okay. Pick your attack.
And here we go. Two-handed. 19?
19 hits.
And... yeah, let's see how well I do. Oh my god, that was pathetic. 4 damage.
4 damage. Slam into the tree as well, knocking some more bark off of it. The tree looks like it's beginning to grow a little unstable, but it is still up.
And I'm just double checking there's not a bonus action I want to do right now. No, I think I'm okay. That's my turn.
Okay. That will put it to the Tabaxi's turn. And she is going to make her first attack with her glaive towards the shrub that just swung at her. That is going to hit, and with one chop of the glaive, it cuts straight through the top of the shrub, bisecting it, and that shrub is dead. The other, she then wheels around and makes a second attack at the tree. Which is going to also hit for... All right, and the glaive chops into the tree the same as Barb's axe. She wrenches it out, sending more debris to the side. That tree isn't as damaged as the other ones, but it's beginning to make some headway. She looks back towards everyone, and seeing you all engaged in fighting kind of gives a smile back towards you, and continues in her ferocious assault. Sadel, back to you.
Well, I'm going to try and shoot the larger tree right next to her.
Okay,
This
choose your
time.
bonus action this turn to reload.
Yep. With an 11.
An 11 misses the tree. It actually kind of hits the side, but ricochets off of the thick bark. Saddle's just not having a good day.
It was me last week. It's your turn now, buddy.
Yep.
Still getting used to the helmet.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a little closer.
That might help.
That might help.
Okay. Back to Barb then.
Murder all of the things. Including that one thing that I was just murdering.
Okay. Going back up to the tree to hit it.
Yeah. And this time I'm gonna do my fancy rage great weapon mastery great leap.
Okay, yeah. So now you're adding your rage damage to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
For a 20.
That hits.
And 19 slashing damage.
Woo! Solid amount of damage as you slam into the tree, carving through it again. There's this large chunk missing out of the side of it, and you can just see the tree beginning to crack over as part of the other side of its trunk begins to split and sunder. It's looking very rough.
Oh man, I really wish that I could just like jump at it. Can I just like
No, unfortunately not yet.
That's still considered an attack. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
One day you'll get there.
What if I just like jump up and hold on to like one of its branches? Do you think my weight would pull it over?
Maybe, but that would be a grapple, and that would also take one of your actions.
Gosh, Sean.
I know,
Fine.
like rules, right? Because I made up all these rules. Okay, so you would have had to move forward to attack it. Are you then moving back to where you are currently? Okay. That'll put it back to the trees then. So the large tree now in front of with Lilibet and Barb there is going to, I guess, attack Lilibet. But that is going to miss you, I believe, because you're at a 17 now. Yeah. That will miss as it slams down your direction. You throw up your shield. You feel the heavy impact. You can feel your arm kind of give a bit to the heavy blow from this tree. But you're deflected enough to the side so that it doesn't damage you. The other tree is going to make its attack against the tabaxi again. That is going to miss again because of the spiritual weapon, or the shield of faith. So that is the end of that tree's turn. Lucius.
Well, the vapor puppet is going to punch that bush in the face. If I can find my vapor puppet. There it is. 8.
8 will miss, actually, the tree. The shrub.
The shrub gets away this time. And then Lucius will attack the tree that just tried to attack Lilibet, because screw that thing. 20?
20 hits.
7 points of damage.
Okay, you see in the spot where it's beginning to crack, you send the kind of tendrils of soul energy towards it, tearing apart the tree a little bit more. Unfortunately, it's still up and still kind of cracking over. It's slamming down at the ground.
Why don't you just die?
And that is the end of your turn.
Yeah, that's the end.
Okay, Den.
Okay. My friend Sadel's having a hard time. I'm gonna go ahead and use my action to cast Bless on my squad over here, the 3 of us. So me and Sadel and Lucius is there.
Okay.
So when you make an attack or saving throw, you get to add a d4 to it. And then I'll go ahead and use my bonus action to hit the same tree with my spiritual hammer.
Okay,
I get to add the d4 to my spiritual weapon attack?
you do.
Okay, great. 21.
Hits.
Oh wow, 12 force damage.
Nice. Spiritual weapon slams into the tree, blasting off some more of the bark.
And I'll
All
stay
right.
with my friends.
Okay. That'll put it to the remaining shrub's turn, and that shrub is going to continue its assault against the vapor puppet.
I just love the mental image of a shrub and vapor just fighting it out.
It's like Baby Groot fighting a cloud. Yes.
Dungeons and Dragons.
But is there a nice 2-level effect with a path running down the middle?
But the tiny shrub only rolls a 4, and so it leaps up trying to swipe at the at the vapor puppet and isn't able to. As you hear the sound of clapping coconuts out in the distance.
Run away!
Run away!
The other one is dead. Lilibet.
Okay, well, Lilibet is going to attempt to two-handed warhammer the stupid tree again.
Okay.
Here we go. Come on, son of a gun. Two-handed warhammer. 20, not natural.
Hits.
Yay! Yeah, and oh my god. 3 damage, bludgeoning.
The tree is still up as you slam into it. It's just barely holding itself there as it's swinging around Whomping Willow style, as it's starting to topple to the side, but it's just barely up.
That's my turn.
Okay. The Tabaxi will take her turn, and she's just going to chop into the tree 2 more times. The first one misses. She swatted to the side. The second one hit. All right, and she chops into it again. That tree is also beginning to lean a bit and begin to splinter up the middle. Is not looking too good.
Oh, Sean?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Because I haven't created the macro, I actually get to re-roll that damage die. Because of great weapon fighting as a paladin.
Okay, go ahead and re-roll it.
So it's a 1d10. Yay! Maybe I'll kill it this time. Oh, max damage! So that's actually a 12.
Literally, you could have rolled anything else but a 1, and it would have killed it because it only had 1 hit point left. But as you slam into it, you frustratedly look up at this tree that just won't go down, and as you go back to slam into it again, there's suddenly like a as the tree falls to the ground, having done more damage than you realized with your last strike. It's the limbs sort of moving for a moment and then falling. All right, but Sado, it is your turn now.
Let's try this again. Big tree, gonna shoot it.
Okay.
18.
Plus a d4. Savannah is shouting at me from over the computer.
That's not how you do that. Jesus. Okay, I can't. I'm losing it. I'm losing my mind.
I mean, it hits
There we
anyway. I just
go.
wanted you to roll the d4. Okay, 20 hits.
I put in like /QRD4. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
He's seeing through the matrix.
12 piercing and 2 thunder.
Okay, 14 points of damage. All right. You take a shot, aiming towards the base of the tree where it's already beginning to splinter. It hits the bark, shattering a huge chunk of the wood, leaving a large sort of gaping hole near the base of the tree. And you see the tree beginning to collapse onto itself. This one looking like it's about to fall as well. All right. That will put it to Barb's turn then.
All right, so I've been doing pretty good at murdering things. I'm gonna go try and murder the other thing.
Go for it.
All right. But can I get over there to murder?
Yeah, I'll move the shrub here because if you can walk over it, it's really tiny
All right, cool.
and
Thanks,
dead.
Sean. Thanks for moving that dead shrub body for me.
You're welcome.
Kind.
I know.
All right, so I'm gonna all of my really awesome damage stuff. Except not really awesome. It's like 11.
11 does not hit, isn't enough to cut through. I'm about to sneeze.
Bless you.
Isn't enough to cut through the thick tree trunk. As you're rushing forward, you don't get enough momentum behind it to really cut into it yet.
I slice a leaf at least.
Yeah, you cut like you shave some of the bark off the side of it.
I don't think my bard could take the idea of not having hit something. Like,
yeah, I mean you hit, it's just not enough to really cut into it, but you do like you shave off a bit of the bark.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
And I inscribe like Lucius's name, maybe. No. So
that's more of an action.
right. So then I guess if I did not do the thing, then I'll just kind of like stand there awkwardly and just kind of pretend that never happened.
Okay. As you pretend that it never happened, though, a large tree branch. Oh no.
I'm here, I promise.
Oh, did you lose your video, or are you just cutting off because you don't want people to remember?
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. Oh my gosh, what's going on? Hold on.
She's just a name now.
I am just a name.
Apparently Zoom was embarrassed for you.
Right?
Oh, this is awful.
I have no idea what happened because it's not on my end.
It's on mine. Obviously.
I don't know. Webcam just exploded.
I think so. I've had this thing for a long time, though. That might be.
Okay. Well, while you're getting it figured out, there we go. All right. Well, as that happens and you, in shame, prepare yourself for your next strike, a large tree branch comes wheeling around to the side to hit you with advantage this time because you used your Rex attack. So that will hit you with a 24 for 14 points of bludgeoning damage, reduced to 7 because you are raging.
Jeez. Okay.
But it slams in the side of you. You find yourself kind of doubled over on top of it and just carried a bit as you brace yourself, trying to keep the tree from just flinging you into the underbrush to the south. But you maintain sort of getting the wind back into your lungs as the branch reels back.
It's a mean tree.
It's a mean tree. That will end its turn, though. Put it to Lucius.
Paper Puppet's gonna try to beat the shit out of that bush again.
This epic battle.
17?
Hits.
7 bludgeoning.
7. The Vapor Puppet stomps the shrub into the ground, just keeps stomping on it until the shrub is no more. Nothing but a pile of kindling.
The epic battle. It has won today. And then Lucius is gonna try to take apart the bigger tree.
Okay.
17?
17. That'll hit.
6 damage.
And with that, you send those tendrils out, cutting and severing the remainder of this large tree. The little bits of wood that were supporting it towards its base, it shatters, and you see the tree as it flails in the air, falls backwards, and then onto the ground with a heavy thud, kicking up dust and debris. Some birds fluttering out of the canopy, but silence and calm returning to this glade.
You know, all of this entire forest, the eclipse, and the exploding mountain, and the trees of death.
You see the tabaxi or step back. She throws the glaive into the tree once again, just like cuts into it out of frustration, giving a heavy yell, and then rips the glaive out. She leans on it, wiping the blood from her brow, and looks back towards all of you. Well, thanks. Appreciate it.
You injured?
Only a little.
I can help.
If you want, I'm probably fine.
I'll go ahead and cast like a first level cure wounds on her.
Okay. So you walk up and cast the spell.
9.
Okay, you cast the cure wounds, so there's that shock, and she jumps backwards as the blood sort of fades away, looking at her fur, and Patterson's just, thank you?
Sorry, I forget I should warn people.
I have never been healed like that before.
That's what they all say.
All right then. Who are you people?
Sorry.
Hi, I'm Lil.
And I
Sorry.
go running up to
I
shake her
should-
hand.
I should have warned you. We're just like traveling through here.
Oh. Where are you heading?
1,000 steps.
Oh, that's where I'm from. Oh, I should introduce myself. I am, oh crap, where did I put the name? I am Orchid climbing beyond the jungle. You can call me Orchid.
Oh, that's
Nice
a
to meet
nice.
you.
That's a nice name.
Thank you. I was actually out here ranging, trying to catch some fur, kill some animals, get some furs, make a living, when the trees decided to attack. So thank you for helping me.
Yeah,
Did-
is
Did
that
that happen?
normal?
Is it normal?
Yeah.
No, not from my experience. But strange things have been happening around here. People have gone missing. It's been weird occurrences. So, I don't know.
So you're
Like-
from 1,000 Steps.
Yes.
You're a long ways. Like, do you still live in 1,000 steps? Or are you.
Outside the city, a small village.
How far are we still from 1,000 steps? I thought we were a while.
Oh, you're a ways. As I said, I'm out here ranging. I spend months away from home.
Can I
Yeah.
insight check her?
Sure.
16?
7.
Okay. She doesn't seem to be hiding anything. She seems very sort of upfront. Straightforward.
How long have you been out ranging?
Probably 23 moons.
How long ago was the eclipse? Like 2 days? A day?
It was like 12 days ago.
12 days ago. Do you remember the eclipse that happened like 2 weeks ago?
Oh, yes.
Did anything strange happen when the eclipse, big mountain, exploded?
The sun went dark. No explosions as far as I know.
That's good to know. Second question.
Where did you say you people are from again?
We came from the fort. We're just traveling through 2,000 steps.
Okay.
We just, when the eclipse happened, we heard a really loud noise, and we didn't, like a boom. We didn't know if it was related or not, so we just thought we'd ask.
Oh, well, I didn't hear anything like that.
It was just probably some trees falling or something. Lucy is just like, he's just real smart, and he just likes to make sure that he knows what's going on.
Oh.
Second question. Do you know about the mass grave back there?
Mass grave?
Pit full of bones. Tabaxi, they look like. He's still holding the doll. Had these in it.
She looks to the doll, kind of takes a step back and says, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, it's about 50 yards back, and we stumbled on it, and then we heard your
the fight.
shouting.
Yeah, we found a bunch of your people, but we heard you, so we figured we should help.
I am not.
There are
aware.
tabaxi bodies in there.
They look like it, yes. From what we could tell.
Is there something here that, like,
Is it
hunts your
sacred?
people?
There are lots of things that will attack travelers in the forests. I don't know about anything that would... I don't know anything like that, though.
I'm sorry, I know this is, like, a lot for us to tell you. We just met,
It's fine. She sort of eyes you suspiciously now, like really kind of clutching her weapon close to her. A bunch of strangers coming around talking about mass graves. See, she's a bit on edge now.
Yeah, weirdos.
Yeah.
I like everyone to make perception checks.
I got a 14.
A 5.
11.
21!
15?
15?
Not
Okay.
having a stroke over here or anything. Just
Sorry, everybody's laughing because Rachel rolled persuasion twice before rolling perception on roll 20.
You're fine. We know what's going on.
Yeah. So Barb and Lil, you both notice out of the corner of your eyes for a moment some movement in the trees, and you look, and for a brief moment you see a humanoid-looking entity, probably around Den's height, covered in tree bark, almost looking like it's made from it, with two glowing yellow eyes. Looks like it has like a weapon or some sort of maul out to one side. It leans out from one of the trees, and as you look at it, makes eye contact with you, it actually disappears into the tree. Vanishes.
Barb, did you see that? Barb, did you see that?
nope, I didn't see anything. Nope. Did I see anything, Sean?
You did see it.
I totally saw this.
I didn't know if you were role-playing that, going into denial, or if you just weren't.
She's so convincing.
She
I
is.
was like, I was staring at my like freaking little character thing over here and like my little stats, and I'm like, I feel like somebody's talking to me, but it's cool. I'm just not gonna. I'll just be over here.
I don't even want to know what your day was like at work.
It was fucking awful. I am so fried right now.
It's okay. Yes, you did see it.
exactly did I see?
You saw essentially like humanoid-looking person covered in bark, almost looks like be made from wood, with two glowing yellow eyes. It locked eyes with you and Lil, and then stepped back into a tree and like disappeared into a tree.
It was like my size.
Yeah, around Den's side. Shorter than you, taller than Lil.
Which way did he go?
Tree? Why are there trees coming out of trees?
I think it was a person in camouflage, I think. That was weird. Guys, there was somebody in the trees. They had yellow eyes. And they were like covered in bark, but I think it was like, oh, I don't know. I'm gonna call it a ghillie suit. I don't know why. I'm just gonna call it that.
What?
What are you talking about?
A silly suit?
Ghillie.
They had gills.
They were like, do you have gills?
No.
Oh. Then how did you know what? This is a question for another day.
It's kind of complicated. We'll talk about it later.
We're talking about they were in the trees?
Yeah, about just over there. They looked about the size of, I guess, Den. From what I could tell.
I start
They,
looking.
looked at us.
I start
They had
looking for a tree person that looks like me.
Right?
You look around, you don't see any tree people that look like you.
I like go to the nearest tree and like knock on it in a few places.
Just
I'm pretty sure this forest is making us all mad.
You guys, I think we're just tired.
We have to be
You know.
tired. It's been a long day.
I'm gonna
Guys,
go
I didn't
ahead
make that
and
up. I know I
not-
saw.
No, I saw it.
Yes. I mean, I
Very-
know I'm small, but I saw it.
Orchid,
I was even told that I saw it. I saw it.
the gods told me.
The gods told me that I saw it.
Orchid. Okay, I know this
Jess?
is just a very strange day for you, and we're really weird. We're not gonna hurt you, but are there a lot of like tree people in these woods or in this jungle, like on your land or whatever?
Other than the one that we just saw and the ones that were attacking me, I don't know.
There are like trees that look like people.
I've heard legends of things like this, but I've never seen anything. They were fairy tales.
Did you see what we saw in the tree? Or...
Yeah, and she was like staring out in the direction, sort of slack-jawed for a moment before looking back towards all of you. I saw that.
So, did you see a person dressed up as a tree, or like the guys we just killed, like a tree with eyes?
Neither. It didn't
Okay.
look. I don't know what I saw.
Guys, I'm not crazy. Barb's not crazy. I promise.
No, I mean 3 of you clearly saw some tree people, so maybe there might have been.
Tree people.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going nowhere, and unless we burn down the forest, which is probably not the right
No,
thing to
we
do.
Or we
shouldn't do
could just
that.
go.
We could
over
just.
the tree. That's an option.
Lucius is literally standing next to it, going.
So we
Alright.
could chop it down.
How about you guys seem a little freaked out. Orchid is clearly very nervous around all of us weirdos, which is acceptable.
Understandable.
Sadell, why don't me and you go take a peek through the trees and see if we see any tree people, and we'll report back.
Okay.
And I just describe as best as I can of what I saw.
Okay. So Sadel and Den, you guys are kind of going to search, inspect, and see what you find.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
so
I ask Sadel if he wants to go with me.
Yeah.
why don't the two of you make either perception or investigation checks? I guess, Dan, you do perception. Saddle, you can do investigation if you want.
Natural 1.
I rolled 10 total.
Well, there do seem to be some trees.
Well, that's good. That's sort of what we're looking for.
That's basically all you guys get from your
Like,
foray.
oh my god, we're in a forest.
Sadel, are we? Can we like a little bit away from the group so that I can be like, Sadel,
Yeah.
do you know anything about tree people, or do you think? I mean, 3 of them said they saw people that looked like trees, but I'm just seeing regular trees.
Almighty DM, do I know anything about tree people?
Make an Arcana check.
Oh boy.
I'm just seeing regular old trees here.
A 7. Which
You're
means
really
instead
not
of rolling a
rolling
1, I rolled a 2.
Saddle, I'm gonna need you to do a little better than this.
It was me last week. It has moved.
He's not still blessed, is he?
No, it's been more than a minute at this point. You nope, never seen anything. Maybe it's hard to remember. It's been a weird day.
I can't say I've ever encountered anything like that, like a tree person.
Well, I mean, I guess we looked, we didn't see anything, so we'll just tell them we didn't find anything and move on. Is that alright with you?
Yep.
I'm a little concerned that I'm seeing 3 people seeing tree people, but alright, you're the expert. Maybe we just keep an eye on Lil and Bob for a little bit.
Do I hear this?
No, they're off in the trees right now having this conversation. But you guys start heading back to the group.
Yeah.
I mean, Lil does drink a lot of wine.
What's my excuse?
You.
Thanks.
Well,
I think
I mean, we didn't find anything, and I don't know anything about tree people, and I don't think Sadel saw anything, so I think we're in the clear.
Can I, with my -1, roll for Arcana?
Sure.
Why not?
Watch her roll like a nat 20.
7.
7. Nope. Never heard or encountered anything like that before.
I mean, I have like Arcana as a skill. Can I, hearing this, can I like try to figure out what's going on?
Sure.
21.
Nice. So you're sort of sitting there and looking at the tree and thinking about what people said. I mean, you didn't see it, so it's kind of hard to guess, but there are a number of sort of magical entities that can imbue plant life with power. The ones that you saw, for instance, being some sort of magically imbued plant force. As far as people that look like that, there are different types of creatures, like they're like myconids that are kind of fungal based people or tree entities. There are tree blights, which are like cursed tree people, there's plenty of things like that, and there are lots of rumors and legends of things like that, but it'd be hard to know what it was until you saw it.
Well, I mean, it could have been anything, really. Tree blights, mechanids, but we'll just have to be careful. Like with anything, new forests, or old forests in this case, are dangerous in and of themselves. So I think we should just keep moving. We have a long way to go. It has been a really long 2 weeks.
Orchid,
Jess?
I know you're out ranging and all of that, but if you'd like to sit with us for the night, eat, sleep, that kind of thing, you're welcome.
She looks up at the sky and the now kind of cresting sun and looks around towards all of you, gives a sigh. I still don't know if I trust you, but sure. Might as well.
That's fair.
Do you have any food? I wasn't able to catch anything today.
Oh yeah,
Oat cakes for days.
we've got other stuff too.
All right. We'll see. Well, lead on and we'll make camp then.
Perfect.
So your group heads through the trees, going a little bit away from this clearing that all this trouble happened at, and away from the mass grave. You see some more of Star's markings along the trees that lead you in the general direction you need to be heading, though you haven't seen Star for a little while, but must be okay, still leaving the markings. After a few more hours of travel, the sun begins to set and you reach a point that you need to make camp. So you set up and begin to create a sort of bonfire, take out some of the preserved meats that you have to prepare some sort of meal. Anything you guys are doing while you're resting?
I'm trying to make our new friend comfortable and not believe that we're going to kill her in her sleep.
She seems a little more comfortable after getting some food, and kind of sniffs it a bit to make sure it's not poison, watches all of you eat it first, and then eats some. She seems to relax a bit.
Since we haven't seen Star, Lil's gonna ask her about Thousand Steps and like, what's it like, and what is it like? So we heard it's up on top of like this mountain, and like, I know my homeland is just this giant grassland, and we grow wine, and so I try to like pepper her details of Bolivar so that maybe she's willing. And I'm trying to basically compare the image or the vision we saw about the city on the mountain being destroyed to see if it like lines up.
Okay. She listens. She's well, it's actually at the base of the caldera, not on top of a mountain. But you're almost right, sort of. The city is nice. It's a little crowded. There are a lot of people there now. I don't know much else to say. It's simple, a little boring. Depends on the sort of circles you run in. The Tabaxi keep to themselves.
Sorry, you say it's crowded now. Is it just because just more and more families, or is there new people moving in?
Well, since the attacks to the east with the gnolls have gotten bad, more have sought the refuge in Thousand Steps, not wanting to suffer through any more raids.
Oh, yeah. That doesn't sound like any fun.
But otherwise, it's a nice place to live.
Sounds like it. I'm really excited to visit.
Huh, well, I'm sure that you will all enjoy your time there. Pretty welcoming to outsiders, by my experience.
Oh, well, that's good. Is there, like, I would love to have the recommendations from a local. We're our good friend Star, who is scouting ahead for us, hasn't been home in a really long time. So if you have like a bar or a tavern that we should go to, or like a shopkeeper that maybe, we should know, all the help we can get would be really great.
I might have some names to get. Let me think about it for the night. I might have some recommendations.
Awesome, thanks.
You're welcome. So, why are you all traveling there? And you said that you were doing business in the city, or?
That is a long, complicated... Actually, it's not. We are the first emissaries of those from the fort. They are 2 weeks behind us. The mission is to get there and do a bunch of diplomacy. We are to get there first, just to see if the doors would be open.
Ambassadors.
Oh, well, that's exciting. I'll see if there's any way that I can help with that. I don't know very many important people in the city, but I can give a recommendation if I need to. I've never been out to the fort. How is it out there?
It's alright.
It's good.
It's small.
If you've lived in this, it would probably be homey. It's comfortable.
Okay. Well, good to know. I don't find myself making my way that far north very often, but who knows? Maybe if you all seem nice enough, other outsiders might be as hospitable as you are.
I think the fort would be welcoming.
Yeah, I think they're really hoping to make as many connections as they can, so they may be willing to trade or have some goods you may be able to trade with if you get more pelts than you need. Or
Yeah, I think they really want to be friendly.
Good.
I am so torn to be like, but don't trust my people.
I mean, if you get into town, there is a shopkeeper there, and you may let him know that you've met us. That may help. At least, get the greases flowing or something.
All right. I'll see what I can do. She sort of trails off the conversation, not really knowing what else to say. Anything else anybody's doing or asking her for the evening?
No,
I'm good.
At some point, I want to pull Illibet aside. Just
Okay.
kind of maybe when everybody's doing other stuff. Lil, can I talk to
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, what's up?
Can I kind of like go? Let's take a walk.
Okay, let's not go too far from the fire, though. I worry about those treeple.
No, just
That's what I'm calling them, the tree people. They're
the
tree
treeple. You're so smart with words. I never would have thought of that. No, we'll still be able to see the camp, but I need to talk to you.
Okay, what's up?
It's about my arm. Sort of.
Yeah. I didn't mean to call you impulsive when you did a really, really brave thing by sticking your arm in there. I didn't mean to diminish it. I'm sorry about that.
Thanks. I don't think anyone understands why I did it. And you're my friend, so I get what you're saying, and Lucius and everybody kind of said some stuff that kind of hurt my feelings. And I just want to make sure that everyone doesn't think I'm just stupid for putting my arm in that door,
No, it's just... You see what needs to be done and you do it. I think the rest of us are a lot more contemplative about things. And we tend to double check, which sometimes kind of slows us down and is problematic. But you see what needs to be done and you do it. And I think that caught us all a little off guard, because I think we were all getting there. You were just faster. And it was really, really, really brave what you did. I don't think I could have done it. I saw the picture. And it scared the bejesus out of me. Like, to the point that I was, like, barking inside.
Yeah. I mean, you guys use a lot of big words, but I mean, I think I know what you mean. I mean, you guys think about stuff and then you do it. I think about stuff too. That sounds really stupid.
No,
When I say it, I want everybody to know that I don't know how to say this without sounding just really mean. Everything I say sort of sounds really aggressive, and I know that because that's sort of the kind of person I've always been, but I thought about it, and I thought about who was standing there and what you guys have, you know, done for me and what we've all done for each other, and I just thought out of all of us, I could handle it, and I could do it, and I could survive. So I sort of did it for all of you. And I just feel like maybe everyone else thinks I just did it without thinking. But I thought really hard. And I wanted to do it so all of you didn't have to.
And I think everybody's coming to terms with that. We're just, like I said, we're a little bit slower because, I mean, from what I know of you, you've lived a life where you have to think very quickly, because there's going to be a wave that comes over your ship, or you've got to change a sail to catch the wind to get to where you need to, and you need to make very fast decisions. I mean, I've never this is my first time away from home. I don't know what the right choice is, so I mull a little bit more, except when I get really excited about shiny things and run into a room and fall down a hole.
You know, it happens. We're alright.
But you did you saw what needed to be done, and you did it. And I know I appreciate it, and I'm pretty sure everybody else does too. I think they're just taking longer to come to grips with the fact of realizing that maybe nobody else was willing to do it, but you were. And that takes some time to come to grips with, because that means you gotta look inside and see why you weren't ready and willing to do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I don't want you to think that we don't appreciate it. It just kind of happened so fast.
I just feel like they think it was stupid.
No, I don't think they think it was stupid. I think initially they were like, wait, what? Ah! Because they hadn't had their time to think it through. But, I mean, I'm not that smart either. Like I said, this is my first time away from home, and I really do see that you did what that room required. You made a massive sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like, you lost all those pretty tattoos. Like, you got your arm, and that's awesome, because who wants to be without half an arm? Well, we're out here dealing with trees that are trying to attack us, or treeples that are in the trees.
Yeah, did not expect the treeples.
Yeah. I am on the lookout for treeples now. They had these yellow little eyes, and it was so weird. But what I'm saying is it's gonna come to them. It just may take more time. And I'm really sorry about that, because you deserve the proper recognition for what that took. And I appreciate it.
It's okay. I mean, you're my friend, you know, and can I show you something?
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of... Okay. This is gonna sound like a really weird question. I I don't know what kind of like pants I'm wearing right now. So I wanted to preface it. But I assume it's like part of my armor. I know I'm not wearing shoes.
Yeah, you've got like leather breeches with like the shin guards and the armor pieces that are fastened over them.
Okay, cool. I just want to roll up on my right leg, kind of roll up those breeches, and I want to show Lil the brand that's on the side of my leg.
Okay.
And it's like, it's very large. So on the side of Den's right leg, she has this brand which looks like, well, it's like a kraken. It's like a very large kind of squid with its tentacles all kind of reaching up towards the rest of her body. But it's different than all of her other tattoos. It's definitely a brand, and it's kind of nasty looking. It doesn't look like maybe something that was put there on purpose. I don't show people this because I don't like it. And I know this is weird, but just bear with me for a second, I guess, because you're pretty much my best friend out here. I got this a while ago. I didn't ask for it. You know, I was like on a lot of ships and doing a lot of sailing and stuff like that, but I was captured at one point and sort of almost sold as a slave. And this is what they gave me to sort of mark me as that. And I mean, I could get rid of it. I know a lot of people with a lot of magic that could get rid of it. I mean, maybe once we're trained up a bit, we could probably do it, but I don't really know what I'm trying to say, but I've been through a lot, and I think about that experience a lot, and I think about this thing that's on me that I carry with me all the time, and that was sort of my first experience of, I don't want other people to go through what I went through. So when I do things like kick down doors and put my arm in other doors that are gonna chop it off, it's not just because I don't think about it, or because I'm not thinking about anything or myself or anything like that, but it's just because I'm thinking about you guys and how I don't want you guys to go through the kind of pain that I went through, you know, when they branded my leg or when they chopped my arm off or whatever. But I don't really know how to say these things to people, so I figured I would tell you because you seem to understand what I'm saying most of the time. But I want other people to be okay, and if that means, you know, getting my arm chopped off and regrown, then maybe the rest of you guys won't ever have to go through that.
Well, from my opinion, you convey how you're feeling pretty well. I mean, there's never been a point in this conversation where I'm like, what is she saying? I mean, I may do that later down the road, but that's just because, I mean, look at me. I'm small and I'm young. But, I think if you're honest with people, which you are, you're gonna do okay. I'm probably too outgoing, and I'm probably too honest with people sometimes. I didn't like that Lemley guy, but that's kind of rare for me to not like somebody. But I think you and I can learn a lot from each other. You can help me be a little less impulsive, just by running in after shiny things. But and I think I can maybe help you be a little more expressive. I know there's a lot in there, and you mean well, and you do well. Just not everybody else has had your life experience, so they're not quite all on board, but they're gonna get there, and I promise. You're a good egg.
I think you're the first person who's ever told me there's a lot in there. So, thanks.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen that many people, but nobody gets that many tattoos and doesn't have a lot going on in there.
Thanks,
It's
though.
gonna be okay. I promise. And I promise you that everybody, they may not be all the way there where I am, seeing what it took for you to put your arm in. But they're gonna get there. You just gotta give them a little time. I know patience isn't your strong suit. But you are queen of patience because you've solved that room. You solved a lot of those rooms.
My dad would fucking shit himself if he knew I solved anything. Ever.
Well, I don't know your dad, but you're pretty fucking smart. And that's what I'm gonna say. I don't like to swear, but I think you need to hear that.
I'll give her a hug.
Gonna
Okay. So you return to the group and finish your evening of small talk with Orchid. Eventually, all of you heading off to sleep. One by one, each of you, I'm assuming you've been doing this the whole way, or taking a watch throughout the evening to keep an eye out for anything that's going on.
I make sure to take the watch that's like either at the beginning or at the end because I can't see in the dark.
That's fine. You still have the fire. I assume you have the fire going for most of the night too, so it keeps it illuminated. But yeah.
On my watch, I am looking for those those little yellow beady eyes.
Okay. Make a perception check on your triggers then. Most of you, I'm just taking your passive, but if you're looking for something specific, I'll let you do.
Okay, let's see. I've had really good rolls tonight, so I'm sure my luck is about to change. 12?
12. Okay, so on your watch, which is sort of towards the middle of the night, maybe just past midnight, you begin to look out and kind of sit at the edge of the firelight from the fire with all your friends behind you, and you're just peering out into the darkness, leaning on your warhammer, looking to see if you can see those eyes again. As you stare out, you don't see anything. It's dark. You're looking for that reflection, and there are a few moments where you see something moving, but a creature like scurries by, and it ends up being a small rodent or something else. You don't notice any other creatures like that. As towards the end of your watch, you start to feel a little dozy, and you begin to nod off a bit, begin to pick yourself up to go to switch out. As you go to stand, though, you hear a as from behind you,
Star shows up.
No!
a very large object crashes into the back of your armor, sending you sprawling forward. You take 9 points of slashing damage as something very heavy hits you from behind. As you turn around, you see the blade of a glaive come swinging down at you one more time.
That
This one hits you again as you
lost.
lost Dylan.
Lost Dylan. Hang on. We'll get him back. Obviously, at this moment.
Lil dies.
Shut up. Lil does not die.
That's fine. I'll get the map set up. Okay, got him back. I'll keep going then. So as the glade comes sweeping down for a second time, connecting again in the shoulder, you see Orchid standing above you. The blade now sunk about into your shoulder blade there. You take another 6 points of slashing damage from that strike as she yanks it out of you. All of you find yourself stirring from your sleep as you hear Lil's cries and the sound of metal hitting metal. She's now standing above you. You see a grin across her face, and as she silently stares down in your direction. And I am going to need everyone to roll for initiative.
Real quick, can you let me know what's happening?
Yeah, Lil was taking her watch, and she got attacked, and it is Orchid standing behind her and hitting her twice with her glaive. All right. You are all sort of brought out of your sleep at this point, and stirring. All of you are prone, including Lil, because you got kind of knocked face forward onto the ground. So, Sadel, what would you like to do?
I want to shoot. Orchid.
Okay. All right. Staying prone or standing up?
I guess I could stand up.
You could. That's totally for flavor. However you want to do it. It's not going to affect your attacks.
You know what? Just for a little flair, I'm gonna shoot laying down, but then I'm gonna stand up.
Okay.
I grab my gun and roll over. And
yeah. You see what's you hear Lil's cries of pain. You roll around. You go.
Just instinct.
Yeah. Fire in that direction. Go and take a shot.
16.
16 will hit.
10 piercing, 2 thunder.
All right. Okay. The shot hits Orchid in the back, impacting the sort of center of her back. She staggers forward a bit, but just straightens back up, not even turning away from her current prey. All right. And then you stand up, reloading your shot. That'll be Den's turn.
Okay. Have we gotten our long rest yet?
At this point, I'm going to say no, not yet. Yeah, it's still the middle of the night.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Hey, instead of using that bonus action to reload, I want to cast Shield of Faith on Lil.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. So you reach out, as you stand up, you reach out, and Lil, you feel that surrounding energy, protective energy.
So that's okay. So my AC.
Okay. I get up.
Okay.
And I will guiding bolt her at 2nd level.
What was that roll?
It was a natural one.
Natural 1. You aim in her direction, conjuring up the energy and sending it shooting out towards her. But as you're sort of woozy still from sleep, you miss just to the left of her, the guiding bolt careening out and shattering against some of the trees in the distance.
Okay. I just start running towards her, screaming.
Okay.
Like a mad woman.
So half your movement left. So you can move 15 feet, and that'll put it to her turn. Sorry, I moved the campfire to the map layer. So that puts it to Orchid's turn. As it's her turn and she looks back over her shoulder, seeing all of you. You watch as the bullet hole in her shoulder begins to close up as she begins to heal. Almost enclosing entirely. As she takes her... She is going to turn back towards Sado. And she is going... Oh, actually, let me check this. She's going to begin to incant something in your direction. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, and you have advantage on the check.
So is that-
18.
Oh, nice.
Okay, 18. As she whispers in your direction, you feel this energy sort of wash over you, and for an instinct, you find the adrenaline fading, and the urge to fight her dissipating. However, you shake it off and maintain vigilance on your quarry. Since that is her action, she is then going to look side to side and actually, no, she's just going to maintain her focus back towards Lil, seeing that didn't work, but she can't attack this turn. Barb, it's your turn now.
All right, cool. So, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go into my rage. And I'm gonna go over here. And I'm gonna do my Great Weapon Mastery Great Loot. And
Okay.
I would like to do my radiant damage as well, so...
Okay, so you're going into your radiant rage.
Yes.
All right.
And Barb goes full radiant. Don't mess.
Radiant. Alright.
As Barb's form begins to shine with radiant energy, she rushes forward with her loot to swing down.
And only hits with an 11.
11. As you swing forward, the creature or Orchid takes a step back. The blade embeds itself into the ground. However, as you step close to her, she shields her eyes and tries to pull back. She does still take the radiant damage from it because she is within 5 feet of you at the end of your turn. And how much damage is that?
What? It's what is it? 5 points.
5 points of damage. All right.
So y'all stay away from me now.
And you see as the energy begins to kind of sear at the outskirts of the clothing she wears in her fur. She tries to back away from you, but is currently locked in combat with you there. All right. That will end your turn. Lilibet, as you are on the ground prone, what would you like to do?
Well, I am going to channel divinity, nature's wrath her, and try and cast the spectral vines to grapple her in place.
Okay.
So that's what I'm gonna do.
What's the saving throw on that?
It's a 12.
No, but what kind of saving throw?
Oh, it's either strength or dex, and you get to make the choice. But it's 12.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. She is able to break free of the vines as they wrap around her. She kind of throws her arms aside and with more strength than you expect, shatters the vines as they wrap around her.
What the hell?
That's all I get out. That's my turn.
Okay. As you end your turn too, you and Barb both notice this, but she seems to be humming something under her breath. Melody. Nothing you recognize, but you do notice that. So Lucius, it is your turn now.
Yeah, because I've just seen her try to take out Lilibet from basically behind. I'm gonna witch bolt her.
Okay.
Well, it's gotta be 30 feet. Hold on, let me see. I should be in range. Yeah, 22 to hit.
22 hits.
14 lightning.
Nice.
And since that was the action, then I stand up.
Okay. So as you reach out for her, as you stand, you send a blast of electrical energy crashing into her. The electricity seems to run up her arms, up the glaive, and spark off the ends of it. She kind of roars as this happens, and you stand kind of maintaining your grasp on the electrical thread that is now holding the two of you together. Okay. Sadel, that puts it back to your turn then.
I'm gonna shoot her again.
Okay, take a shot.
15.
15 hits. Oh no, 15 misses. Sorry. I was looking at something else. 15 does not hit. As you take your shot, the bullet actually glances off her shoulder, not able to pierce, and going ricocheting towards the trees.
Then I'm just gonna move around Lucius towards this tree.
Okay. Den, back to you.
Yeah. I'm real mad. I would like to run right up to her. Is she facing away from me?
She is. Yes, she currently is facing away from you.
Okay.
She's aware of you. She kind of has her head over her shoulders, looking back towards Barb, but most of her body is turned away from you.
Okay, fine. I would like to grab her by the throat and cast Inflict Wounds on her.
Okay. You feel the kind of searing energy of Barb's radiant form kind of licking up the left side of your body.
20.
20 hits.
18 necrotic damage.
Nice. As you grab her kind of by the back of her neck, almost like the side of it, you send that course of necrotic energy through her, and you see the smile across her face kind of diminish for a second. She kind of the life essence being pulled from her. She rips her arm away and begins to breathe steadily once again. All right.
And I say, take a knee or die.
Okay. As you say that, and at the end of your turn, you see as there is a crashing in the woods beside you, and you watch Lil and Barb, you see something familiar looking come emerging through the trees. A creature seeming covered in wood with gleaming yellow eyes comes out of this tree here, looking in your direction, has a shield to one side and it looks like a gnarled like shillelagh in the other, and comes rushing forward in your direction. But at the last second, wheels around and swings at Orchid. Unfortunately, misses with its first strike as she ducks out of the way. The club passing over her, he then wheels around for the second to strike down. Misses again as she throws up her glaive to block the strike, throwing it back. You see her smile fade into a snarl as she sees this creature. It's then going to put it to her turn. You watch again as some of the wounds that she sustained begin to heal. She looks around towards all of you, and you watch as she smiles once again, humming to herself this lullaby-esque song. No words and nothing that strikes out to you, but a sort of discordant, haunting melody. As she does, you watch her smile widen and widen into almost like a Cheshire cat, like cartoonish length, almost up to her ears. Her eyes seem to gleam with a pale white light. And as this happens, her body fades and disappears in front of you. And she vanishes. And that will let's see. Yeah, Lucius, you feel that connection from your witch bolt break as she leaves the radius of it. And that'll end her turn. And assuming that, or I guess, what does everybody want to do now? It's kind of a loose initiative order.
Want to search for that traitorous.
Lil is like looking, just basically spinning in circles trying to find her.
The tree person. Go ahead.
I pretty much immediately run over to Lil and like get in front of her, but like she's turning everywhere and we have no idea where this girl went, so I'm very much like protective mode.
Okay, you go on the other side of her from like where Den is and just place yourself there and looking around to see where you can. And
I'll probably like put myself in between her and tree person, because what the hell?
I wanna. Okay, first I'll step a little bit away from Barb because, ow, she's real shiny and it hurts. And then I'm gonna try to talk to the tree person, I guess.
Okay. So, as you all gather around Lil trying to protect her, you go over towards this tree. Oh, sorry, Lucius.
Lil, you heal 12 hit points. I used the stitching thing to take 12 of mine.
Oh, you're using your blood stitch. Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
I just touched Lil's shoulder, and it's just like, here you go. Blink.
Yeah. Just remember that
it takes.
Well, and your next short rest, you only regain
half.
Thanks, Lucius. What the hell? We helped her.
Traitorous. We'll find her, don't worry.
Oi. Tree.
The tree entity kind of looking around, and it is a humanoid, your height, Den, covered in bark, has this sort of empty spot where its eyes would be, and inside there are like two glowing little balls of light. It's covered in moss and has some sort of mushrooms growing off of it the same way as like a tree would. In there's sort of this gnarled area at the center of its chest, but otherwise it turns to you after scanning the area and putting down its arms, turns its head in your direction.
Do you understand me?
It doesn't respond. It does speak out towards you in a kind of light and airy language. It's like it sounds almost elven, and you pick up little bits and pieces of it, Sadel, but it's not the language is the one you recognize.
Are there like any keywords in particular that I can understand?
I'll let you make an intelligence check to see if you can decipher any of it. Deem yourself.
13.
13. Okay, you aren't able to make out much of it. You do get little bits and pieces, something like danger, and something akin to evil.
Anybody speak tree?
No, but I told you there was a tree bowl.
Well, I completely believe you now. How are you feeling, Lilibet?
Really mad. What the heck?
I don't know. I don't actually think she was Tabaxi. We'll find her. Don't worry.
Where's Star when you need him?
Right. What? That's a good question. Have we seen him within like the past day or two?
No, it's probably been about a week since you guys saw him last. You've seen the markings on the trees and stuff,
Yeah.
but you haven't seen him.
I mean, Sado, you speak the most stuff. Do you think you can talk to it?
I can certainly try. And I immediately just like start going through, I start with Elvish, since that's like the closest that it's speaking, and then if that doesn't work, I'll move to Dwarvish and then to Tabaxi.
Okay. When you speak Elvish towards it, it does seem to react to that a bit. Does seem connection to it. It doesn't seem to notice or recognize the other languages that you're speaking. Besides maybe Tabaxi a bit, it does seem to respond to that. But Elven, it looks to you and speaks a bit more. But there is a definite wall, a language barrier, though, that it seems like you're both understanding little bits and pieces of what's being said. It still seems on guard and seems distrusting of all of you, and kind of keeps its shield up, which is sort of connected to its left arm. It's almost like a part of it, just holding it out just in case.
I turn to the rest of the group and I'm like, could everybody put their weapons away?
I take my weapon out of a weapon-y stance and I start trying to play music that will maybe calm the tree down. Can I roll for performance?
Sure.
I put my stuff away because I trust Sadel.
Yeah, Lil follows what Sadell asked for.
21.
21. So
I
Barb
performed the crap out of that tree.
So you step back and you begin to play at your lute, and as that happens, you see the creature kind of relax its posture a bit, and you watch as the shield that it has in one hand actually disappear, like retracts into its arm, leaving a working arm once again. And it seems to calm a bit and almost sort of sways from side to side with the music.
I approach the tree and give it scritches behind one of its branches.
Okay. It sort of flinches backwards when you do that, when you reach out towards it, but it freezes as you touch it and kind of scratch behind where its ear might be. And it just looks at you confused.
I want to go back to Elvish, and I'll stay there since that's kind of where it gets the most understanding from, and just ask it, can it take us to somewhere safe? Trying to like also talk with my hands so that it maybe helps.
Okay. You say that to it. It pauses for a second, and then it repeats a word back to you, sort of, in Elvish. Safe.
Safe.
It looks behind it and it points, and it speaks some words to you, and what you get from it, the word you pick up is follow.
I kind of motion to everybody and I'm just like, I think he's gonna take us to somewhere safer than here.
You trust him, Saddle?
Well, Z attacked Orchid, so I'm assuming, it's the best we've got to go on right now.
Okay, I'm with
But
you.
stay behind me just to be safe.
Okay.
I stay right behind him the whole time, like, ready to go.
I mean, it's a tree. How much damage can it really do, right?
All right, so you all proceed into the night following behind this tree as the moon is shining down through the branches. It's pretty dark. I assume you guys probably, Den, you cast light to illuminate the way as you make your way through the jungle.
Lil
Staying
is
on.
totally just holding on to the back of Sadel's shirt.
Okay.
Like, she just basically is just like dejectedly following like a little child.
Okay. You follow this. You follow this creature, this treeple, for about the next hour or so. You find yourselves tired. You got a little bit of rest, but you haven't had a full rest yet. As you proceed forward, you do see the sun beginning to rise in the distance after a few more hours of travel. The tree entity in front of you, eventually leading you to a very thick sort of cluster of tall jungle oaks in front of you. Actually, the trees are so packed together that you cannot see a space between them. It's like a wall of wood in front of you that stretches out as far as you can see. Branches sort of intertwined together, growing out from, and all the trees sort of stretching up higher than you could see, an inclimbable sort of wall. The creature stops, steps up to it, and places a hand on the wood, and as you do, you see the trees part, leaving sort of an archway for you to enter through. It beckons for you to follow and goes walking through the archway.
I continue to follow it.
Has anyone noticed any of Star's markings on this way that we've gone at all? Or have we gone a completely different direction?
You guys have gone a different direction.
Okay.
You generally know your way back to where you last saw his marks, though, if you wanted to go back there. But as you enter through this archway, the trees creaking and groaning and closing behind you, you enter into a large meadow of sorts, a glade in the center of this forest. The wall seems to surround you, go in a circle as far as you can see. All throughout this area, you see small glowing lights of fireflies and other sort of phosphorescent bugs sort of zooming throughout this meadow. And intermixed with the animal and insect life, you see more trees moving throughout, shrubs and of different sizes, all moving and carrying on in here as a small sort of plant community. You see other entities similar to the one you see in front of you, also making their way to and from hovels, like mounds of earth with doors and entryways sort of carved into them or hollowed out, kind of hobbit style. At the center of this glade, you see a massive, probably 80-foot tall tree standing at the center, gently swaying back and forth. And as you approach it, you see that this entity seems to have the appendages, arms. It has the vague look of a large humanoid sitting cross-legged at the center of this clearing. And far, far towards the top, you see the gnarled curvature of the bark forming a nose, a mouth, and eyes currently pressed close beneath the large green canopy of this entity that stands before you. The creature that's guiding you turns back and looks for a reaction.
Lil peeks out from the back of Sidel, and just because of where she's following in her paladin path, she bows to the big tree.
Okay. So you step forward and kind of approach closer to it and give a bow. Anybody else doing anything?
He's kind of just in shock at the whole thing.
Yeah, I kind of follow Lilibet's lead. I'm just kind of like, okay, and I'll like do a little bow thing.
I'm trying to catch fireflies.
I just do what Sadel does, and I just like bodyguard style, like stay right on him, like almost too close.
Okay. Okay.
And just in Elven again, I try and speak to the big tree thing.
Okay. The entity sort of stirs, and you watch as the eyes creak open, leaving out sort of like hollowed out interior that looks as like human eyes. The mouth twitches and opens with a It looks down towards you, Sadel. I have not heard the language of the elves for some time. Who are you people? Sap, who have you brought before me today?
Sap.
The creature kind of steps forward, and you hear it speaking out in this elven-like language towards it. The tree before you sort of nods, listening quietly, and some time passes before it turns back towards you and says, "Oh, seems you've had some trouble in the forests."
Yeah.
Who are you people?
My name is Sadel, and these are my friends.
Oh, pleasure to meet you. I am Graldarr, Sentinel of the Northern Pass.
Is he speaking a language I can understand, or is he still speaking in Elvish to settle?
He's speaking in Elven right now, because nobody's spoken any other languages yet.
What was the name?
Graldarr.
Thanks.
my apologies, but do you happen to speak Common? None of my friends here speak this language.
It has been some time since I've spoken, but I know many languages. The Common Tongue, one of them. It switches to Common and speaks out, "Welcome to Friends of Sadell."
Thank you for bringing us into your community.
Sadell, are you friends with the trees?
Apparently, but best introduce yourselves.
I wave high, and a firefly escapes from my hand, and I try and catch it again.
Hello, I'm Den.
Hi! That's a talking tree. Hi, I'm Lilibet.
I am Lucius.
I'm Barb.
Graldarr sort of gives a throaty chuckle that echoes, almost shaking the ground in this small sanctuary. He says, "Welcome, welcome. You may stay here as long as you do not pose a threat to any who dwell within the meadow."
Thank you, of course. We wouldn't dare.
So, it seems that you have had some troubles with the Oni, the same as we have found.
Well, we had some trouble with... I'm not actually quite sure what she was.
I believe that the creature was an Oni, a giant folk.
Giant folk.
Oh, they are malicious creatures. I have been tasked to protect this pass, and it seems that we have a blight upon it.
But she was so small.
They can disguise themselves. I have not encountered one of their kind for millennia.
So, this is a new happenstance.
Oh, for the past few moons or so.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, okay. Does it have anything to do with the solar eclipse?
No, it was going on before the eclipse began. Attacking travelers along the road and those that dwell within the villages to the south.
What is it they want or do?
I do not know if it has a purpose other than feeding.
The mass grave.
It abducts children from their homes and from their villages, never to be seen again. An evil creature, to say the least.
How do we destroy it?
As if you were to destroy anything else. I do not know if there is a special means to do so. They are difficult to find and even more difficult to catch.
And I'm sorry, this may sound rude, but what exactly is this place, and what exactly are you? We're not from around here, if you couldn't tell.
When he says that, I just point to my ears, which are like fins.
It gives another sort of throaty chuckle, which reverberates through the trees, and says, I apologize. It has been some time since we've entertained guests. This is the meadow, a sanctuary that I have created for those that are kindred to the forests. I am a guardian of these lands. I believe I've been given the name Trient by some. I was created many millennia ago by the druid Ragath, and he tasked me with protecting these lands.
I asked if like they stay in this one spot or if they're nomadic and move along.
Okay. Now he says that, no, I am to protect the pass here from any that would incur upon it.
And what pass would that be?
The northern one. He kind of motions towards the north, the direction you guys came from, and the large cliff faces, that the pass that you guys have been coming through. We do not have a name for it. I was rooted here, born here, and thus I have stayed to protect these lands from those that would attack travelers that walk upon it.
Well, thank you for taking us in. That was an unfortunate meeting we had.
Understood. I am sure that you are tired and have dealt with many hardships. We do not have the means, it seems, of taking this creature to task to rid our lands of this menace. Perhaps as the members of our Hold on. Good. Okay. Perhaps as payment for the members of our enclave that were, as I was told, struck down by you and your companions earlier today, to which we hold no ill will. It seemed to be merely a misunderstanding. But perhaps you may be willing to help us with this task.
Well, I say that sounds fair.
Agreed.
I will send Sap to guide you. He has been some help and may provide guidance towards your efforts. We have no knowledge of the lair that this creature keeps, but there are tabaxi villages nearby that may be in danger.
Anything we can do to help is the least we can do. We're really sorry about that before.
Understood. I accept your apologies. For now, rest. You are safe here from the Oni. We will speak more come further sunrise.
Is there any way to tell Oni apart from any form they take so this does not happen in the future?
They only reveal themselves when they attack and feed.
Do all the Oni sing that song?
Song?
She was constantly humming or
Can I play the song? Like on my lute? Do I remember it?
You can try. Yeah, go ahead and make a performance check to see if you can play it.
22.
22? Okay. You're able to, by ear, reconstruct the song pretty well. The creature, or the treant, listens to you and listens to the melody and says, sounds vaguely familiar. I believe that I once heard a lullaby that had the same melody. A warning to children, elven children, that the Oni would be humming it is strange.
How are Oni created? Or do you know?
That is outside of my knowledge. I know only what I was taught by Ragath.
Well, guys, and I look around to the party. Let's rest, but let's listen. Let's keep an ear out for that song. It seemed important or indicative. I don't know. It just was weird.
Well, if she was humming it, then it means something to her. Either as an irony or something that she remembered in her past.
Barb, you got an ear. That was awesome.
Thanks.
Have you been practicing? You're getting much better at that.
I mean, I'm a bard. Duh.
This is very true. I don't know how I forgot.
Thank you again for your hospitality. I think we'll. Is there a special place or a place out of the way that we can make our small camp?
Wherever is most comfortable to you.
Thank you again.
Are there any rules that we should know about other than don't kill people?
We only ask that you refrain from using fire within the meadow.
That is good to know. Thank you.
Question. Go ahead. You first. Okay.
I was just saying it seems warm enough, so.
So I was just gonna ask, what kind of plants are there around here? Like, are there any small plants that seem sentient?
Yeah, there are some small shrub ones that the ones you saw before.
Can I talk to them?
You can try.
I walk over to one of them and I say hi.
Okay, in common.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does it do?
The creature, or the small awakened shrub, sort of scurrying by you. As you walk over towards it and you say hi, it stops as you stop in its path, it stops and then sort of just starts walking its way around you.
I follow it and I start playing music at it.
Okay. You begin to play music. Make another performance check.
13.
13. You begin to play some music, and it stops in front of you and turns back towards you and stands there for a bit as you play a few chords. After a minute, it seems to get bored of it and turns around and begins heading wherever it was heading before.
Come back! I want to be your friend. And I chase after it.
Okay. And as Barb goes chasing after the shrubs and the rest of you settle down to make camp, we'll go ahead and end our session here. We'll pick up and you can continue trying to capture a shrub pet.
Lucius watches all of this and then just rubs his forehead and then says a few words in Celestial that seem like really nice, but in kind of that weird way that best friends do. Like one of those, oh my God, she's really pretty or really strong. And it's so great that I'm her friend, but it's in Celestial.
Okay. All right. So we'll close our session here for tonight.
Yay!
Yay!
Savannah, do you have any closing remarks?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing I always say, but it's really important. We like to throw out thank yous to all of the people at the end of our session who kind of put all the stuff together for us. If you like the music that we use, which is great and exciting and fun, we get all of our music from Incomptech. It's a royalty-free music place where you can get and use all of the music that we use during our session. So if you like them, you want to use them in your own home games, go to Incomptech, check that stuff out. They've got a lot of different great music on there. If you love our character art as much as we do, all of our character art was created by our friend Julie. So if you love her art as much as we do, if you want to get in touch with her about commissions or anything like that, let us know. Contact either one of us or UPick Gaming on Twitter, and we can put you in touch with her. Our overlays, if you love our overlays and you want something like that for your game or your stream or something like that, Sarah made all of those for us, so contact her on Twitter. Her Twitter handle is above her lovely face. So if you want to know more about that or get in touch with her about creating an overlay for your game, do that on Twitter. We always mention the Soul Stitcher class, so Kyle is playing a homebrew class created by Sean, our DM. If you want to know more about it or you want to try to playtest it in your own game, we've got a link for that on DM's Guild that will be put in the chat. So if you're interested in learning more about that or playing it yourself, check it out. Leave Sean some stars, some reviews, some comments, some questions, whatever you feel like on that on DM's Guild. All of our maps are made with Incarnate. Sean makes those as well, so if you need some great map making software online, check out Incarnate for that. Today, I have a couple of special thank yous that we haven't done before, because we used our Tabaxi tokens for the first time. So if you loved our adorable Tabaxi tokens, we got those from an artist named Rebecca Sutton. That is a token pack that you can buy on Roll20. It's called Cat and Caboodle, which is probably the cutest thing ever, so check those out. They're adorable. Buy them. Let Rebecca know how much you love her art because they're great. And then in addition to that, I also want to thank my Twitter friend at John A. Bates for making my spiritual weapon token for me because I didn't have one and I was having a hard time finding one. So at John A. Bates, thank you so much for making that token for me. I love it. It's amazing. It's wonderful. So follow them on Twitter because they're awesome. And then thank you to our friends who hosted us today and who hung out for our stream, and those of you that have been here every week, thank you. We love you. Keep coming back. And if you want more Survivors Complex or more excellent gaming content, please follow UPick Gaming on Twitter, here on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube at youtube.com/UPickGaming. You can watch all of our episodes again, as well as all of Ballandor and all of the Demon Seed and all the video games and great stuff that we do.
And they're doing a giveaway if they get enough people.
And
They are doing a giveaway.
thank you. We're doing a giveaway right now. So that's on, I think, Twitter and on Twitch and on YouTube. So follow, subscribe, and we're doing a giveaway right now. But more information about that can be found on the UPick Gaming Twitter. So go check that out and enter the giveaway. You can win some cool dice, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. And one final reminder is just we will not be playing next Saturday. We will be back on the 27th, hopefully same time, same place. But you can look for information on that on the UPick Gaming channel. But we will, just a reminder, we will not be here next Saturday. But you can use this as an excellent time to catch up on our YouTube videos. Kyle, was there something you were going to say?
Is it now in game 40 soul you or 39 soul you?
We will work that out.
Okay. Thank you.
And
Okay.
follow us on Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter.
At Survivor Complex.
But until next time, thank you everybody for watching, and good night, Internet.
Good night,
Good
Internet.
night, Internet.
Internet.